All right, let me know when you're ready, LJ. We are live. We are live. Okay, so I'm gonna play. Oh, I'm gonna play. This is hilarious right here. This is hilarious. This is wrong. All right, let me know when you're ready, LJ. We are live. That is hilarious, man. That I watched that. I chuckled right away. That is hilarious. All right, so let me. I think LJ fell asleep already. All right, let me see. Let me see. I want that. I want this one. Okay. So let's see. Okay, cool, cool. Why is everything going to audio? Okay, I think I gotta restart that computer. Yeah, I ain't supposed to be doing that. Let me yeah, I think I just gotta restart that computer, not this one. Oh boy. No, 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 no. Oh, it wants to update. All right, I got it. Okay, it's gonna update on me. I got it. So that computer's out. All right, all right, all right. Oh, let me see if all right, so let me see if Meech is around. Let me see if Matt is around. And he said he'd been sick. All right, all right, all right. All right, all right, all right. This is wrong right here. This is just wrong. That's wrong. Hold on. All right. Yeah. Okay. So if you're ready, you can any. All right. So anytime you want to talk, you can start. I'm gonna play something for you. Once you start to let me hold on. All right. So hold on. I'm ready. Let me just send Matt and Meech the link if they want to hop on. I'm gonna put the phone number in the chat too in case somebody want to ask a question. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna play a little bit of what these one Western guys do when they debate. And you want to talk about semantics? I mean, like they quick to charge you with semantics, but you're just making absolute sense. But then they are the ones who would say, "Hey, man, seed is sperm," and then they'll say sperm. They'll say seed is sperm and seed is also children. Then I'm like, okay, so is children and sperm the same? They'll say no. I'm like, wait a minute. If seed is sperm and seed is children, then children and sperm will have to be the same because that's what seed is. They'll say no. So I'm like, okay, now that's semantics. What are we doing here? And that's why I was like, that's a little, I'm agitated and annoyed. I'm like, wait a minute, bro. One plus one is two. So watch this. Watch this. Three plus, matter of fact, maybe I gotta do this. Let me do it this way. Let me do it this way. Okay, beautiful. Got nice area. Okay. So when you say something is something, then it's just that. Watch this. So we got plus oh, 3 plus 5 equals 8. right? So that 3 plus 5, we can say 3 is seed, the 5 is sperm. No, erase that. 3 plus 5 is 8. All right. So the 3, 5 is the seed and the 8 is the sperm. Okay. Then they say 5 plus. So then I ask you, okay, watch this. So this is how it works. If 3 plus 5 is 8, then 5 plus 3 is 8. So the 3 plus 5, that's literally sperm. So if sperm is seed and 5, and then children is seed, then sperm is children and children is sperm. They'll say no. So let me try to do it like this. All right, let me try to make sense of this. All right, so I'm gonna change the color. Let me change this color. This is pretty much how it works in the like most simplistic. I'm trying to make this real simplistic. Okay, equals. Cool. 8 equals. All right, so both are true. And this will be trying to get them. Matter of fact, let's do it even easier. I got an easy way to do it. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Right. So let's do it like this. Right, let's do it like this. Okay, cool. I think this might be better. All right. Meet you there.
Yeah, I'm here.
Elder, you up or you sleep? You asleep?
No, I'm here. I'm
Okay.
listening in.
So this is what I'm trying to get them to see. If you're telling me 5 plus 3 is 8, then 8 is 5 plus 3. Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so if 5 plus 3 is 8, then 8 must be 5 plus 3. That's simple. That's simple math. Okay. If seed is sperm and seed is children, then sperm is children, children is sperm. And they'll say no. So I'm like, so 8 isn't 5 plus 3. And then they just don't get that. Now we're talking in circles and circles, and then we're trying to get them to see, dude, if 5 plus 3 is 8, then 8 is 5 plus 3. They'll say no. I'm like, dude, I'm just saying it backwards. It's the same thing. I'm just saying, instead of saying 5 plus 3, I'm just saying 8 is 5 plus 3. Instead of saying 5 plus 3 is 8, I'm saying 8 is 5 plus 3. It's the same thing. They'll say no.
So that they're basically saying that, let's say one of the numbers, let's say 3 is sperm and 5 is the egg and 8 is the children. They're saying 3 equals 8. And we're like, no, that's basically it right there.
Right. And this is what I got a simple way to explain to this guy. I was like, I said 1 plus 1 is 2, right? That's how I said it. I said 1 plus 1 is 2, right? He said, yeah. I said, it's 1, 2. Does one, I said 1 plus 1 equals 2. Yeah. I said, does 1 equal 2? And I don't even know his answer. He might have said yeah. Because I think you see where I was going. Um, I try different ways to get them to see, and some I ain't gonna lie, some do catch it and they start to like back off. But for the ones that hold fast, like the last guy we talked to, that's gonna hold fast to it. I'm like, dude, are you serious? Like, so you're gonna just keep saying it is seed, and it is. You're gonna say it is sperm and it is children, and you're gonna use it interchangeably as you please, except when I show you Genesis 3, verse 15. And that's one time where seed definitely does not mean sperm. And then he said, yo, LJ, he said the woman, when it says her seed, he said that meant Israel. I'm like, dude, do you know what time we're in right now? Israel. That's the back of the book.
Yeah, didn't he say something about God marrying Israel, so that makes her the female and
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, some spiritual connection. All right. So now listen to this twister right here. So let me first remind the chat what is the claim. Matter of fact, I have a clip. I was just gonna show the Bible reference. I'll still do that, but it's good to play the audio of them saying it because what the Hasad guy is gonna do here is gonna blow your mind. So I'm gonna play a clip first of these guys. Where's the Hebrews 2:16 clip where they breaking it down? I know it's somewhere here. Hebrews 2:6. Okay. Oh, Grla. Gotta be here somewhere. I'm at Grla. I hate when I don't separate my notes. Okay, so okay, bye. Here so I might just gotta just show the verse. Just read it. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna find it. Can I show Captain saying it? Mm-mm. All right, let me do it. Let me just do a control find. We that ain't work. That ain't work. What's the other one? All things, and they got all right, so I'm just gonna show the verse. I can't. We're off the top. Fine. All right, here we are. So we at Hebrews chapter 2, verse 17. So they would use this verse right here. They will say, "Wherefore in all things it behooved Jesus to be made like his brethren until his brethren." Wherefore in all things, so they focus on all things, and they would say, "It behooved Jesus to be made like unto his brethren." So they don't read this part right here, made like. They just focus on all things Jesus made. They omit this, made unto his brethren. Okay, so they don't see the word like here. They just read right past it. And they just read all things made unto his brethren. Okay. Now listen to this word salad. So I'm gonna leave that right there, and I'm gonna just play the video. Yo, Deacon went live today. Yeah, he had like damn near 900 live listeners. I'm like, damn, like these dudes is getting up there. Peace Haskell. Yeah, dude. That the sperm seed thing, and that's why like that's one thing I want to just like work out, iron out right away. Like, dude, I be trying to ignore it, but they keep saying like, okay, dude, come on. In one place you're saying it's like Abraham lineage, and then I'm hearing you saying it's Abraham's sperm. Like, so let's get it out the way. What does it mean? And then you start to see this little circular discussion. Okay, so I'm gonna play it. So I got my. Let me see. I don't think the audio is sharing. Let me share the audio. I'm gonna get y'all commentary on this. So remember, so they're gonna tell you where it says wherefore in all things. They're gonna say Jesus Christ was made in all things, literally all things like his brethren, and they're gonna insert mommy and daddy in there, okay, and sex. All right. So let's roll the clip. Roll the clip, Johnny.
I agree with you. All doesn't mean all in certain sense.
Cool. So
I do.
Okay, so now this isn't me debating these guys. This is some other Israelites debating them on the virgin birth. This is Hasad and Deacon.
me that the brother Demetrius in the book of 3 John, all human beings on the
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. Trust me. I agree with you. All doesn't mean all in certain sense.
Cool. So
I do agree with that.
Then you can't go to 2 Ezra 3 and 21. And when I say all doesn't mean all, try to critique that. So now back.
So he's responding. So Hasad, that's Hasad. The guy sound like a little feminine. That's Hasad. Hasad is saying all things. Well, no, the brother Demetrius, whatever his name is, he read something, all things. Hasad, out of all people, had the nerve to say all things doesn't mean all things. It means some things.
And he brought out my favorite verse, by the way.
Yeah, my jaw dropped. I said, oh, I didn't think you guys can comprehend that. I thought everybody that reads Hebrew 2:17, all you guys read all things is literally every last thing a Hebrew Israelite is. A midget, paraplegic,
Yeah.
tooth, tongue twisted, cross-eyed, one eye, tall, fine,
And I
he
think, and it's weird because I was watching it. I don't know if he was just trying to say that the verse he brought out in Second Ezra is basically not saying that everybody that's come from Adam, because it literally says
yes.
all that come from Adam are this.
Yeah, no,
And I was confused.
yeah, he was arguing that. He was saying, "Oh no, this don't mean." So it's like what me and LJ was discussing earlier. It's like, wait a minute. It's like if I didn't know, okay, if you blindfolded me and okay, said talk to this guy, and the guy was Hasad, and I'm hearing this, I don't know his background. I would never think he was a messianic person. If I heard all of his argument, I would say he's either nation. If you tell me, okay, I don't know nothing about him, so I won't think Nation Islam. I'm gonna say, okay, that dude is a Jew, like a Jew, like a Jew, like a real Jew. I'm gonna say he's that because a lot of them are not messianic. I'm gonna say he got to be that, or he's Muslim. Like I will never fathom that he's a messianic person. Like he's messianic. Like, dude, you're literally arguing that all men didn't sin. Like, dude, that's not a messianic art. Like, yo, what? I don't
Yeah,
even
I
know.
don't know why he used. I don't even know why he used Zechariah as well. Because if you just keep reading the story, he sinned.
All right, so now watch this. I'm gonna play a little more.
Wait.
Brother, no.
Are you saying that wait, that's off, Hasad. Now, come on now. But sometimes all does mean all.
Okay.
There is not a man out here that's not wicked.
Okay.
So you trying to say that there's a man out here that's not wicked? Are you trying to say there's a man out here that's not wicked?
Brother. Listen.
Is there a man
Yes,
that's not
I'm
wicked?
gonna show you right now.
He's gonna tell you that the Bible says Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob committed no sin. Luke 1, 5-6 said John the Baptist's parents were righteous and blameless, walking in all the laws, statutes, and commandments. We're not gonna sit up here and be like Christians and say we're some wicked, filthy, disgusting sinners.
No, we're not wicked, the filthy, disgusting sinners. Everybody is trying to keep the law to the best of their ability. Now you're trying to say that even when they were children, they never
Hey,
sinned.
pause it.
So you're saying that Job and
So look, he said Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob did not sin. I don't know if LJ would agree with me on this, but when Abraham and Isaac said that their wife wasn't their wife, that's technically not the whole truth and bearing false witness. And also, Jacob also lied and said that he was Esau and fooled his father into giving him the birthright. So that's another one. And
Abraham married his sister, so that's completely against what the law of Moses says as well. So
right. But just in the sense of like, yeah, I guess I would agree with that.
Jacob,
Romans 5:12 tells us that all men have sinned because sin is passed from Adam to all men, and all men have sinned.
yeah, but what
Right.
about Jacob when he was taking the sheep and mix it? He was supposed to give Laban the unspotted. He keep the spotted, like the cheaper, less value ones. But he did a switcheroo. He gave Laban the spotted ones. He ran off with the unspotted ones.
Okay, so LJ, do you understand that story? Because to this day, I still don't understand that story.
Which story was that?
The ring straight, the spotted
Yeah, the one I just
cattle
said.
that yeah.
I've kind of I'd need to go back and like look at that, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think that's
So
Genesis
One I haven't read for a
31
while.
or 30. I think it's Genesis 31.
yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, when you have sheep and oxen, whatever, it's definitely sheep. Spotted ones are less. They're less money. They're less value, right? Unspotted ones are more because they use like currency. You trade these. So the unspotted ones is like it's like purebreds. So Laban told him, "Hey man, you could make some money here." I'm paraphrasing and monitor. You can make some money here, but you're going to keep the spotted lamb, and you're going to give me the unspotted lamb, like the purebreds. You'll take the spotted ones, the unpurebred, non-purebreds. Jacob when he left, Jacob took the unspotted and ran off and left Laban with the spotted. That's when Laban was chasing after him.
Yeah, I remember that. And then he went off to Esau to seek
Yeah.
Right.
some refuge from.
And the reason why I know that so well, because the Nation of Islam used that to say Jacob was, I know it's going to sound crazy, but they use that to say Jacob is actually who they believe is Yaqub in their folklore. Like Yaqub is the devil in their doctrine. So they're saying Jacob is the devil. And look at this. This is going to sound even crazier. When he was doing that to the spotted lamb and unspotted, he was creating the white man. Because
Wow.
they believe Jacob is Jacob is a black devil. He's the original devil, but then he created a white devil. Okay, and they stop right there. So they don't read no more of the story. They stop right there. That's good enough. Like they do what Sakari does. That's good enough. This is a precept. Forget story. Forget story time. This is precept. That's good enough. And so I had to like study that to see what's going on. Like, oh man, yo, he ain't making white folks. He over here stealing.
I was also going to say Psalms 14, Paul quotes this in Romans 3. Psalms 14, verse 1. The fool had said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. The Lord looketh down from heaven upon the children of men and see if there were any that understand, and seek God. They are all gone aside. They are all together become filthy. There is none that doeth good. No, not one.
Right. Yeah. Well, you know
What does Hasad do with the wisdom of Solomon then, when he's using the wisdom of Solomon to say that for there is no king that has any other beginning of birth, for all men have had one entrance into life and the light going out. So they utilize that to say that all men must be that born of a man and a woman. But now we're going to get rid of all.
Right.
You know what? That's a great. Yeah, that's a good one. That might be
Hey,
easier.
LJ,
Yeah, that might be easier to like get on.
did you see in the third epistle of John that they were reading that John was talking about me?
John was talking about you.
Yeah, that's my name, Demetrius.
Oh, right. Okay.
Hey, okay. So chef. So when I had the debate with Tazaria, well, not a debate, like they call it a weigh-in with Tazaria. The first guy that called in, he came in. The name is Nubian Muhammad. His name was actually Chef. I think he was just trolling. So his name is Chefrin, right? Chefrin L. So he debated a Nation of Islam member or supporter recently. I mean, like recently. So I'm like, oh, so I'm gonna text Chef like, yo, Chef, give me that guy, and then you guys come back on it. Come on it. You got to hear this. Just hear this, because they're gonna use the Bible to justify a lot of their doctrine, and I'm gonna bring up the Jacob creating a white man from like he has no idea who Laban even is, but he's gonna go in if he studies well studied. Now watch this. I haven't a Meech and LJ. I haven't studied the teachings of Nation Islam in like years. I guarantee you, I'm telling you, I guarantee you, 90% of people who I invite on here, I'm going to know more than them. And I haven't studied in years. I'm telling you, I'm going to know more than all of them on their own doctrine. I'm going to ask them questions. They're not going to have an answer. I got to answer it for them over and over and over. And they can't get me with no gotcha questions. I'm pretty much going to know most of what they have to ask me. So you're going to see like a teacher and students in their doctrine, the doctrine that they believe is salvation for black. It's kind of like, look at it. It's going to sound like Israelitish. Salvation for blacks, Native Americans, and Caribbean people, and Hispanics, nobody else. Okay? That's Nation Islam. That doctrine is older than the Hebrew Israelite doctrine. So they were the first to say the Latinos, black, and Native Americans before everybody else. That's why I suspect one of their founders when he founded the Nation of Islam, the One West Doctrine, I suspect one of their founders was a member of the Nation of Islam at some point in his life to bring that hatred there. Now, so I'm gonna press play to all things. Let's bring it back to all things. I'm gonna press play.
Wait a minute. I'm biased. In the all things, when they say Jesus was made like to his brethren in all things, does that mean that they believe that he's a sinner?
You know what? Well, okay, so I heard in that's this same debate I'm playing audio. I heard one of these guys say, how that screen get shared? I heard one of these guys say, hey, he was made, yeah, I think Hasad. He said, hey, 'cause they asked that too. He said, well, he was made in sinful flesh. And no, it was Deacon. And then it was like, okay, what does that mean? He sinned? He said, because he was tempted, but he didn't fall for it. It was like, well, listen, that's Heathen Nero there. And they just left it like that. That's I'm like, yo, these guys can't be messianic.
Because again, the Bible teaches in 2 Corinthians 5:21 that for he hath made him to be sin for us who knew no sin. So Jesus did not know sin. So
You know what? We have to ask that question.
Made in the same way as us.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm thinking they're going to say, yeah, well, that's talking about he was made in sinful flesh. I think they're going to go there. All right. So now listen to more of this stuff, these gotcha questions they got for these guys. And they call this a debate. Like Hasad and Deacon, like they think they're outwitting these people.
All these just men, even when they were children, they never sinned and had to make a
Let me
repentance.
answer the question with a Bible verse, bro, please.
Because that's all, Pop.
Okay, let me read the Bible then. Let me read the Bible. Now, again, your premise is because 2 Ezra 3:21.
And by the way, there's a slight chance that there's an audio copy of me and Hasad exchange because my phone does automatically record. I am a businessman and I have a lot of verbal contracts with my clients, and I had, and they try to weasel out of stuff. When you play it back, hey, excuse me, you did say you can't come Thursday. Look, it's right here. Oh, yeah. So when you do call my phone, it's not always accurate because I didn't delete a lot of files, but it does automatically record right away. I don't got to press any button. It starts right away. So there's a slight chance that the exchange is there. You can hear this fool say, "Who are you? Nobody knows you." And my name is Ron. Oh, I know you. You're that superstar that was. This guy knew exactly who I was that fast. Like, damn, I thought I was a nobody. And then he said, "Hey, I did a live on you." Oh, the nobody? You did a live on the nobody? So now they know me, huh? Okay, thank you. So now when I talk to your minions, they can't say they didn't know me. Because Hasad made sure you guys knew me.
Because everyone born of Adam, it says that had a wicked heart and transgressed. That means.
Then Hasad blocked me on Facebook.
For real?
Yeah. So wait, you got to say, wait a minute. What caused for the block? You already knew who I was because we were talking months ago. We had a Facebook call months ago, and we just started kind of exchanging again. Then Deacon gives me a phone number, not you. Like he wasn't even in the equation. Deacon gives me a phone number. I call this morning. He's asleep. I said, okay, I'll call you and get up. So I text him like, when's a good time? He says, I got time. So now he said, I got time, right? I got time. So now before I can call them, they're calling me back and it's Hasad. Does that make any sense? Like, hold up. Why are you calling me? I thought you didn't know who I was. And when he's calling me, he's aggressive. He ain't like, hey, brother, shalom. He's aggressive. So it's like, yo, that don't sound like you didn't know who I was. Like maybe he heard my voice. Oh, let me call him back. That's what it sounded like. Yeah, well, that do sound familiar. Let me call you back. Let me call him back. Hey, because the first thing he said was, yeah, who you? And I was like, well, I'm trying to explain, like, well, Deacon, he told me to call. He had a video, this debate I'm playing. He said debunk this debate, and then he'll be willing to talk to me about some of your arguments. well, who are you to challenge us? Blah, 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 blah. Nobody knows you. I mean, he went crazy. I'm trying to be calm, like, bro, relax. Dude, we're just talking. Relax. Ah. And this is early in the morning. It's like 10:30, 11 a.m. Ah. And he's wide awoke. Deacon is asleep. This dude is wide awoke. Like, yo, what is going on over here? That he's asleep and this dude is wide awoke. That's when he went to the whole, nobody knows you. Like, yeah, and then it turned out he said, didn't you talk to, he used Grla Hebrew real name. So I'm like, who's that? He like, cause now I'm like confused. Like, nah, who's that? He like, oh, you talk to him. Like, who's that? But he just said he don't know who I am. But now he know who I talk to. So I'm like, who's that? He like, Grla Hebrew. Like, oh yeah, I talked to him. He's like, oh, well, why you say you cooked me? You lied. No, he said you lied on me. Like, lied on you? How? You said you cooked me. Now, look, guys, girls, at the very least, that's an opinion. When people debate sports, anything, gambling, whatever, it's a debate. I mean, it's subjective. When you say, "Hey, I won that debate," it's subjective. So why would you be that offended if we had an exchange, an argument, and I said I won? I said I cooked you. Why would that offend you that much? That's what you're supposed to say about yourself. Like,
Do
look
you
at
remember what
boxing.
he said in our argument? He
What was
said,
that?
"I believe I have a better argument." Da, 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 da. Like,
Of
yeah,
course you
that's
should
your
say that.
opinion.
Yeah, yeah, that's wild. So boxers, they be getting their butt kicked and they still say, "Hey, I think I won." So why wouldn't I say I think I won? I said I cooked you. So then you would think he'll say how. Then let me explain. Because I was gonna go right to Revelation, the video I'm gonna play in a second. So he right away asked me, how you he didn't say how. He said, okay. I said, can I tell you why I think I cooked you? Like, so he's saying I'm lying about why I said I cooked him, but he don't want me to explain why I said I cooked him. Like that was like the weirdest thing ever. But then he's calling me weird. Like, hold up, you're saying I lied on you, but you don't want to review the lie. Like, what did I lie? Oh, I cooked you. So that's the overall exchange. Okay, so let me go into some points. What happened? Where I cooked you? Where I played it live? Nope. He wants to know. Okay, so now he want to skip past the birth. He want to skip past the conception of Christ. He want to go to not even the birth. Hey, how is Jesus from the tribe of Judah if he only has a mom? It's like, well, if we're there, then it's almost like you're assuming I'm right, right?
Right.
If we're even going that far, that means that you're giving me the benefit I'm right. Like Mary had a baby by herself, but he don't want to concede to that. Hey, man, just answer. I mean, very rude. Just answer the question. Like, dude, like, okay, I'm trying to be cordial because I do want to cook you right now, but you're about to make me explode. Like, dude, stop. You know, we're not doing that. No, just answer the question. Answer. Like he's demanding I answer that question and only that question. So I'm like, dude, I got a debate with Tazaria coming up, and I said, and you guys talk to each other. Matter of fact, you seen the video because of Tazaria. Captain pointed you guys towards, you had a comment, you had a convo about me. So, and you coming with this question, knowing that me and Tazaria got a debate. So why would I waste? So I said, I answered her. I will answer. Yes, I can give you two instances in the Bible. It's really three, but I'm assuming you're outside of Jesus, right? So I'm gonna give you two examples of a child being identified as an Israelite, and we don't know who the daddy is. Okay, well, we know what one daddy is, but the other daddy ain't an Israelite. So one person don't have a daddy. The other person got a daddy, but he's not Israel. And the children, both of them are still considered Israel. So I got two cases. And of course, he knows that. I mean, he's aware of what I'm gonna say. That's why that was weird. I want you to say it. Like, why don't you just say it? But why are we talking about this? This is not a question. The question is, why did I say I cooked you? For you. But the question for Deacon is, let's go over this debate like we're doing now. It's kind of weird. But he was demanding the whole, oh, I'm gonna hang up. Like this guy actually said, well, I'm gonna hang up. And at that point I lost it and I called him a word. I'm gonna just say pause. I called him a word that someone say is offensive. Because like he said I'm gonna hang up. Like I just really felt like he was a woman at that point. So I called him my name. I'm like, what so hang up? What the hell? You think I want you to stay on the phone like that bad? Like what you called me? I called Deacon, you called me. But you're gonna hang up. You called me. I called Deacon, you called me. And you're gonna hang up if I don't. I said, bro, hang up. Yeah, it took this guy like 15 minutes to hang up. So you're gonna answer the question. So let's now look at this. And you can tell you're like 25 years old. Look. So I will answer any of your questions. Just answer my one question. Like he was hell bent on getting the answer for that. So I'm like, dude, if you're recording, I don't care because I'm not like you guys. Everything I say, I believe in, right? So everything I say at all times, I don't care if I'm in a private Zoom call with LJ or Meech. I don't care if I'm in a private Facebook call with Matt or Haskell. If Haskell calls me, I don't care if Stu Peace called me Facebook. Listen, everything I ever say, I believe in it. I might be wrong, but I believe in it. And I'm not afraid to be accountable, right? You hold me accountable. So you're free. I mean, everybody right now going forward, you're free to record me at any moment forever. Okay? I'm that open. I have nothing, even if I'm saying something bad about somebody, you're free to record it. Because guess what? If I didn't want that person to know, I wouldn't even say it. So even though it might hurt this person's feelings, I'm still gonna say it because I really believe that. And sometimes I think you should get it. And it's better that you didn't get it from me. You got it from the person who recorded. That's even better. If that makes sense to you guys. But yes, you can record me at any time. You got my permission. Anytime, all the time, every time. I don't care if I say it's a secret. You can record it and play it later.
Hey,
In public.
just curious, real quick. Do you want me to bring out some quick points about the Syriac tonight, or not? Because I
Yeah,
log on my
sure.
computer.
Sure.
Okay.
All right. So let me play a little bit of this video. I'm gonna play so I think LJ wants to speak to the next video. So let me play a little bit of this one.
It's impossible for Christ to come from the seed of a man because that would mean that he's a sinner, which would not make him the lamb without blemish. So
now he tricked these guys to make them believe that seed is sperm. All right. So everybody agrees seed is sperm. And now he's using the word impossible and God. And I kind of like got on LJ and Meech a couple of times about that. Like, hey man, you sound like them. Don't say impossible. Just say you don't believe it happened. But once you say that it's impossible, you kind of sound like them. I'm never gonna say something impossible with God. I'm gonna say I don't believe he'll do that, but I won't say it's impossible. All right. So anyway, he used the word impossible, and you gotta be careful using that word impossible when it comes to God. Because he said all things are possible. So it's like, dude, can't believe you. Like you're a liar now. God's true and you're a liar. So if anybody says God, something's impossible with God, I'm gonna check you right away and say, bro, you sound like One West. That's what they say. A Christian would never say that. Like I'm talking about like a hell bent, like crazy Christian that just faith only. They really believe he can do everything.
Yes or no? Did Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob all have earthly fathers and mothers? Yes or no?
Con, they did.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Can you read Prayer of Manasseh and start it where it says, "O Lord, that art the God of the just"?
Just read it for him. Just read it for him.
Okay. It says, "O Lord, that are the God of the just, has not appointed repentance to the just as to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which have not sinned against thee." So the Bible just said Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob did not sin despite the fact that they both had a father and a mother. So your whole premise of, well, it's impossible for Christ to come from the seed of a man because that would mean that he was be a sinner because we all come from Adam, we all have the evil heart, which wouldn't make him the lamb without blemish. Well, it's mute because Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob came from Adam and had that same wicked heart, but they didn't.
Right. The question is, do you agree with the text when it says they did no sin?
They did no sin? No, I believe that.
Now, based on what they read, it sounded like they said they did not sin against me. So that sounds like something in particular. That's not like a general, like they never sinned. So like that seems like there's some context behind there. But this is what they would do. They'll read something outside of context and don't even catch you up, don't even give you context. And then say, see, he didn't sin. Now it didn't say they didn't sin from what they read. Hasad, he just read they didn't sin against him. What is that? Like, yo, I need more to that. All right. So I'm gonna stop right there and I'm gonna play. But so that's you want to talk about semantics? That's what they're going to right now. All right, so let me go ahead and go to the video, a portion of the video where Hassan got cooked, and then I think LJ might want to respond here. So I said, so really, so now let me this is the snippet between so the English translation, you agree, is a translation of the Syriac translation, right?
I don't know what language it was.
No, I'm saying like Syriac. Right?
I don't know what. I would assume it was written. I don't know what language it was.
No, translation of the Syriac translation, right? Hold on. I want to go back. You hear the entire question. You just hearing like a portion of it. Okay. Like you can't use this computer without a mouse. I had to bring out my mouse. You agree, it's a translation of the Syriac translation, right?
I don't know what.
I'm asking him. I said, you agree that the King James translation is a translation of the Syriac translation, right? That's what I'm asking him. Like they're both translations.
I would assume it was written. I don't know what language it was.
No, I'm saying like Syriac was a translation of the original Greek, and then the English.
Well, I don't believe that it's originally written in Greek. I believe it's written in Hebrew. So
okay, yeah. So he said, I believe it's originally written in Hebrew. Now look, he said, LJ, he said he believed that, right? But then he's going to come back and say, well, where did the Greek come from? So he's going to paste his belief on me. And I didn't catch it right then and there because that's why I was confused. Like, what you mean? The Greek, it doesn't come from anywhere. But watching his back, I said, oh, he's pasting his belief on me. He believed the Greek is a translation from the Hebrew because he believed Hebrew was the original source. And you know what's crazy also? They clamor or cling on to the original, or there is an original Matthews in Hebrew. But why do you automatically assume that let's say if there was a Hebrew Matthews, why do you automatically assume that it disagrees with the Greek Matthew? Like that is the question. Like, okay, so why do you believe it disagrees with this one? So like they automatically just believe it disagrees with the Greek. It's like, dude, first of all, like there's no evidence of a Hebrew Matthew, but if there was, why it just can't be the like how we have now? Like we have the books, different languages, but they agree.
Yeah, it's a translation.
Okay, so what I mean, I got him to just admit because they get tricky on the Syriac Sinaiticus. They get tricky on whether it's a translation or not. Like I heard Hasad on the street teaching where he proposed it as an authentic copy. Not copy, authentic, source. This is the origin. Like this is Syriac. This is the old, version or written gospel. Is that the Syriac is called a translation? That's what I'm going to, right?
Okay.
And the English is called translation. So nobody really translate from a translation, right? When you translate, it's from the original text.
That's not true.
So you can translate from a translation? All right. So now I'm clearly trying to go somewhere else. So I hate when they like, that's not true. Like, dude, I'm trying to go somewhere else. Right. And I think he kind of see what I'm doing. So I'm like, so nobody really translate. Like when I say this, when I'm making this point, I'm saying like true, honest translators. They're going to use the original source. That's all. That's the only point I'm making. Like true, honest translators are going to translate from the original source. So if you believe something else happened, then you have to just say they're dishonest. Like that. That's all. Just say no. I know one dishonest person, because as me, that's still not going against my point. My point is, honest translators don't do that. That's all I'm trying to get at. But now we're going down this rabbit hole from the original text.
That's not true.
So you could translate from a translation?
Yep.
Well, I don't know what Bible manuscript would actually do that, but.
Well, guess what? The one that you're reading, the King James version.
No, the King James translates from the text of Receptus. It goes to the Greek. Greek.
Okay, and what does the Greek?
Now he said listen what he said. He said the King James version, right? That means the entire book. Okay?
Come from?
It goes to the Greek. So look, Greek.
Okay, and what does the Greek come from?
Daryl, where does the Greek come from? I told you, I didn't catch it at first because it's really nothing. But he was pasting his belief on me because he said the original Matthews in Hebrew. So he said, I know. He said, where does the Greek come from? That was like, what? The Greek. Greek.
Okay, and what does the Greek come from?
Nah, the Greek that's the oldest. So if you go to like the ancient,
Revelation. When you do research on how the Book of Revelation was translated, man's name who translated the Book of Revelation, he translated it
so
from
keep in mind, he said when you go into how the book of Revelation, that means all 22 chapters he's talking about. He's talking about the entire book. He didn't say a section, a portion, a passage, a verse, a book. He said the book of Revelation. Okay. This is why we conclude that these guys really don't read anything. Like somebody passes it down to them and they just put it in their brain and remember it.
from
Like the ancient
Revelation. When you do research on how the Book of Revelation was translated, man's name who translated the Book of Revelation, he translated it from Latin.
Stop the cap. No one besides him is making this claim. The original.
She said, stop the cap. Hold on, run that back, Turbo.
Claim
it from Latin. Name who translated the Book of Revelation. He translated it from Latin.
Stop the cap. No one besides him is making this claim. The original.
So by the way, what LJ pointed out, only Hasad is making that claim. So even the claim that he's trying to present to me, he messed that up. No one is saying the book of Revelations, the entire book of Revelations, came from Latin. Nobody's saying that. Hasad even messed the argument up. That the liars are coming up with an argument. Hasad couldn't even understand the liars' the only argument they have. He doesn't even understand it. He revised their
about to say,
argument. Go ahead.
I'm reading an apparatus and I'm just going from Revelation 1 all the way through the verses. And all these verses says they're all in Aleph, the Byzantine text, Stephanius, Papyrus 25, all these different places. I don't even see Vulgate once.
This guy.
It's literally the when Erasmus created his Textus Receptus, he created 5 editions, but on his first edition, when he created it, he only had one copy of Revelation to his access. He only had access to one on that creation at that time, and that manuscript that he utilized was missing the last 6 verses of Revelation. And so what he did for the last 6 verses for that first edition was he utilized the Latin Vulgate, translated the Latin Vulgate into Greek, and completed his the Textus Receptus. He created 4 more editions after that and utilized more manuscripts, but it was just for that one edition that he created. That's all. That's all that was.
So and it's funny because Hasad is not speaking about Erasmus's version. He's talking about the text that we have today, the Greek text that the King James comes from, that the whole book of Revelations comes from the Latin Vulgate. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I've never heard anybody make that claim before.
Hey, he did what I did yesterday.
No one.
What was that? The TikTok?
He read the headline of the link before he clicked it.
Yeah.
I don't think he clicked the link.
Besides him.
What was that?
I don't even think he bothered to click the link. read the headline. Erasmus translates Revelation from the Vulgate, and he's just utilized the whole thing and said, well, the whole book of Revelation was translated from the Latin Vulgate.
Man, I'm biased. Yeah. I learned my lesson from yesterday. I will never read a headline and give a conclusion.
Bro, that's why
never again.
LJ, Matt, and Meech. I've been trying to tell you. I said, guys, we've been debating, like, not Bible. This is like a new, genre. Or new category. We've been debating like science. So we've been reading like scientific journals to like prove our points for certain people, and believe me, whoever read that headline lost. So like we know better to not do that anymore because we all made that mistake and took an L. So it's like, okay, we gotta ignore that headline because the headline is controversial only to get you to read it because it's clickbait. You know, 'cause if the head like look at the news now, like they're gonna say something kind of crazy for you to tune in. You know, like they're gonna over exaggerate, be over compassionate, over outraged just to get you to watch, and then it won't be as big as you thought it was. This happens all the time. So I learned my lesson. Now is a crazy guy that be in my chat, and he comes on sometime. Nobody ever seen him before. He's always calling in. He can't. He's computer illiterate, and he always does that. He'll see the title. That's good enough. It must be true, and he'll build a whole argument based off a headline. All right. So, like LJ said, the argument he's making is his own argument. This is a Hasad argument. Like this is not amongst the opposers, the detractors. This is just Hasad saying the Book of Revelation basically plagiarized. Kind of what he's saying.
Stop the cap. No one besides him is making this claim. The original claim is that Erasmus had back-translated the last 6 verses of the Book of Revelation. Not that he translated the entire Book of Revelations into the Greek from the Latin Vulgate. He loves lies, 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 and so he got cooked, like good food. Allow me to cook more, until it's well done. The Greek for the last few verses was provided from the Greek manuscripts. I said. The Greek for the last few verses was provided from the Greek manuscripts of the Aldine printers. And yet, he chose not to print it because he had no Greek manuscript which contained the verse. Only a fool will claim that he back-translated from the Vulgate into Greek and then retranslated his Latinized Greek back into Latin. The purpose of such claims about Erasmus is to undermine the authentic Greek text,
Amen.
the Textus Receptus. Number 1. Attempts to discredit the Textus Receptus. By attempting to discredit Erasmus become meaningless, as the 1550 edition became the standard Greek text of the Reformation. Number 2. It is often claimed that Erasmus introduced never-before-seen Greek readings.
I'm surprised he didn't say that. He didn't click the link. So whatever he's clicking was a satire website, had fake news, and if he clicked the link, he would have said that next.
Back translated, but this is shown to be false in the below comparison chart. Like the story about the Comma Johanneum wager and Codex Vaticanus, this story is nothing but smoke.
Codex Vaticanus is the Codex Vaticanus.
And mirrors.
Yeah.
Another myth in a long series of myths about Erasmus that are designed to undermine one's faith in the authentic Greek text.
You tell them. Okay. So
comparison chart.
This was the source of, right? So now you can't really see it, no problem, right? You can't see it. You can't really see it, but guess what? We have a description right here. You can click that link right there, you'll see everything. So this is the source of the information right there. Click that, and you'll be able to see this clearly, and you'll be able to see this clear. Okay. All right, so that was it on that.
Yeah, let me pull this up real quick.
So that's why he got cooked. So hope Captain don't try to bring that up.
All right. So let me get to, okay, verse 16. So let me show you guys this. So if I double click here, okay, there. You guys see all these highlighted words?
Yeah.
So this is the begot verb, all from Matthew 1:1 down to verse 16. So if I click out of this, click here. This is verse 16. It says, Jacob begot Joseph. He was espoused to Mary, the virgin, and she birthed Jesus, the Messiah. But this is the interesting part right here. So this is the birth verb. And let me show you the inflection. So I did some research. Peal means it's active, which is interesting because this is a woman. It's perfect, feminine, third person singular. So this has to be about Mary. But when we do a comparison on this word, let me see if I can search this word up. So this is what it gives me. It gives me the same word in the Syriac Sinaiticus in John 16 and 21. So let me go over there. This was the interesting part, how this was only used in one other place. And check out what it says. It says, when a woman is in travail, she hath sorrow, because the day of her delivery is come. But when she hath borne the son, she remembered not her anguish for joy that a man is born into the world. Now we have two words, born, hath born, and delivery. But this word right here, wait. Oh, this is the highlighted word. This is delivery. Okay. It's either delivery or born, but it's still applying to the woman. Because this word born, I highlighted it down here. This is a different inflection of that same word. This is the same word, the begot, bear a child, aspio, but this one's masculine, so this is about the son. So I was like, wow. So when the one guy read it as Mary begot Jesus, that's technically right. Technically. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. And then let me show you one more thing. Back in Matthew 1 and 16. So there's two. Hold on, let me do this. There's two pronouns here. One right after Joseph. And let me show you this one. Pronoun he, it is. So this is the masculine he. And then there's another pronoun. This is a feminine pronoun. So if we were to read it, it would say Jacob begat Joseph. He was espoused. And this is the word was, and this is to. So was espoused to Mary, the virgin. She delivered, bore, begot Jesus, the Messiah.
And
so, yeah.
Now let me just help out the audience and the listeners and the future listeners if they forgot. A masculine pronoun related to living things means it's an actual male. And a feminine pronoun related to living things, it means it's actually female. So it's a different rule than non-living things. So yes, when it's a living thing, it's literally a male and applies literally to a female.
Right. So imagine my surprise when the only scholars that talk about this all admit that it says Joseph begot Jesus when it actually doesn't. Because if that was the case, I don't know why, but I guess verbs have gender in the Syriac in the Syriac language. So this would not be applied to Joseph. This would be about Mary. So I thought that was interesting that no scholar had pointed out that this verb is feminine, that it can only be about Mary birthing, boring, delivering Christ, Messiah. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. So I feel like when these guys bring this up, they need to be able to display it. They understand what this is. I'm not going to pretend to be able to read it or anything like that, but I can look these things up.
Yeah, that's interesting because most translators actually have that as Joseph begetting there. So I'll have to go and have a look at that.
Right. And that was the only, and maybe I might end up, if it's not too expensive, I'll order a Syriac analytical lexicon, but that's the only one I was able to find on Logos. Logos was very limited in Syriac resources, but they have grammars and they have that whole text that I brought out is part of a package, and it has like the Kryptonian, Diatessaron, Peshitta, all those things.
Yeah, because even in the Syriac anyway, even let's say that it does read the way that most translators have translated that, it is the only Syriac manuscript that reads that way anyway. All other Syriac manuscripts read exactly the same as the Greek. So they're trying to base a whole argument on one manuscript that they don't even understand. One, that it in that same verse does call Mary a virgin, and two, actually says Mary is from the tribe of David, or sorry, the tribe of Judah, in the same manuscript that they're trying to utilize as well. So they don't actually understand it. Even Hasad said, even in that little clip that Unbiased stated, he showed that he didn't know what language it was translated, what language the Syriac Sinaiticus was in. It's kind of in the language that it's stated, Syriac.
Right, like Latin Vulgate.
Yeah, it's literally the Syriac Sinaiticus. And he says, I don't know what language this is in. But there's the argumentation there is that Syriac was actually translated from the Greek that comes from the Hebrew. So it's already been into English. It's been translated 3 times. He hasn't got any evidence that the original New Testament was written in Hebrew anyway.
Yeah, and what's even more interesting is in the Syriac, it mentions that Mary's a virgin. Why would it mention that she's a virgin at all?
In that same verse, it's Mary the Virgin
Right.
in Matthew
She's
1:16 there it
technically she
reads.
technically wouldn't be a virgin if they had sex.
Well, you're not a virgin. But then they
Right.
argue that the virgin doesn't mean somebody that hasn't had sex. That's the only way
Oh, yeah,
around that now, is that
I was on
now you
mute.
have to start arguing that a virgin isn't somebody that has. Now you're changing words, what meaning of words are.
Yeah,
Right.
you have to maybe look at the word virgin in Syriac and see what.
Well, it's chaste maiden in the Syriac. That's what the English translates it as, chaste maiden, which is a virgin in the Syriac. It means
Right. Yeah,
virgin.
chase. Yeah, the word chase gives it. Yeah, but it's interesting. She's called Mary the Virgin, like right there, but she's supposed to have a deliver a baby or conceive the baby by Joseph.
Yeah, well, you're literally. I mean, they don't have any problem with changing the meaning of words. They do that with seed. So,
Oh yeah.
you're now literally playing with language and moving words about and the meaning of words. So you're just making up your own sport now. You're not moving the goalposts, as we say in England. I don't know if you say that in America. You're changing the
Yeah,
sport.
if you do.
Yeah, you're literally changing the sport that we're playing. Well,
Yeah, they are going to have a lot of issues when they use these early texts to support their doctrine. So when they, which I'm not going to disclose on this live, but I'm just going to give a warning shot. If Sakari continue to use the Syriac Sinaiticus, you're going to be in trouble. And Captain, if you're using Eusebius' works, you're going to be in trouble.
well,
Okay.
Syriac Sinaiticus isn't even that early anyway. It's like 5th century, 5th or 6th century, I think. So it's not. It is early work, but it's not like the manuscript isn't like really early.
Right.
And so
Yeah, but
if it was translate as I was saying to you, if the Syriac Sinaiticus was, let's say that everybody knows it was translated from the Greek, but if it was translated from the Hebrew, we don't have the copy of the Hebrew.
Right.
So how do we know how good a copy the Syriac Sinaiticus is? Because you've got nothing to compare it against. So if you translate the Hebrew, let's say the Hebrew is perfect, then you translate that Hebrew into Syriac. But let's say that the person who translated it into Syriac didn't really understand Hebrew. So they end up with a really bad copy
Right.
of the Syriac. And then you translate that into English. Now, let's say that you are brilliant at Syriac and English, and you translate the Syriac perfect into English. You still have a crap English translation
Yep.
because the Syriac was rubbish. So it doesn't matter how good the English translation of the Syriac was a bad translation of the Hebrew. So the English is just a good translation of the Syriac, not a good translation of the original. So,
I agree. And this is why I told Meech every time I read the experts say and the scholars say, and even like these camps, see in the Syriac Sinaiticus, it says Joseph begot Jesus. I'm like, I was never sold on that. And I did that. I said, I use that disclaimer in my lives all the time. I said, I'm not really sure it's saying that. I said that over and over and over. And because it really does not say Joseph begot Jesus. It literally says Joseph, to whom was espoused to Mary the Virgin, begot Jesus. It still puts the begot with Mary.
And it's interesting too. In that translation, they leave out Mary's pronoun when it says those two
Yeah,
pronouns I showed you.
yeah.
Yeah, because it literally reads Jacob begot Joseph. He was espoused to Mary the Virgin. She begot Jesus the Messiah.
Yeah, I would
I
like
thought
to
that
know
was interesting.
more.
Yeah.
I would like to know more about that translator, like and their background, because to do that, it looks like there's an agenda.
Mm,
yeah, that was
yeah.
done in 1893, the translation by Agnes Smith Lewis.
Yeah, I want to wait. Wait. Give me that name one more time. I'm looking right now. Give me that name one more time. Agnes who?
Agnes Smith Lewis. So in 1892, that was when the manuscript was found. A team found it, and then in 1893, it was Agnes Smith Lewis who was part of the team that found the manuscript, translated it into the translate.
All right.
How do you spell Lewis? Is it
Yep.
Lewis?
Yep.
Yeah, Lewis.
Hmm.
Novelist. Okay, here we go. I think this is. Oh yeah. So those are the sisters that supposedly are those sisters that supposedly found it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, so he's tied in with them.
just a team of people that found it, and then
Yeah. Did they find the wasn't the Codex Sinaiticus found either then or a few years later?
1841, somewhere around there. 1847 maybe.
Oh. Hmm.
Like slightly earlier, the original, the Greek Sinaiticus. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, by Tischendorf, who created this. So that there's a possibility that Codex Sinaiticus, the Greek one, is a forgery, but there's a lot of people who believe that, but it hasn't been proven in any way.
Yeah, all they can kind of just see is just manuscript corruption within itself.
It's definitely got corruption within the manuscript itself. It's a terrible manuscript, but
Yeah,
whether it dates back to the 350 is kind of the date that they have it. There's a lot of people that now believe that it was actually created um, in the 19th century, basically 1800s.
really.
Yeah,
Is there
it's a complete forgery.
like
That's
any
the Tischendorf had it created for him, basically.
wow? Is there any like type of proof, like scientifically, where they tested it, or
They haven't tested it. It was meant to be tested about 10 years ago. It was going to be carbon dated, and the museum, they refused to have it, to allow the team. The team turned up to do the testing, and they refused to allow it to be done. But I believe
yeah?
this year it is going to be done.
Oh no, that's actually really cool. Man, I got to follow up on that.
Yeah, but
Because yeah, it's just weird that that's the only codex that really contains like almost everything in the Bible.
yeah, yeah. But it is a very, very bad manuscript. When you look at some of the readings in there, it disagrees with itself. Like it says about the 144,000 in Revelation, it in the two passages in itself, it says in one passage it's got 140,000, in the other one it's got 141,000. It contradicts
Oh wow,
itself. It's a terrible manuscript.
yeah, and yeah, there's this one guy got his books, Dean Burgeon. He does a whole study on it, internal corruption,
Yeah.
external corruption with the witness from the other uncials. It's a good read.
Yeah, Burgeon was basically the forerunner for everybody since to support the Textus Receptus, the King James version, because he believed that the King James version was the correct version and the Textus Receptus was the correct text, and he wrote that book. It's an awesome book,
Hmm.
absolutely
Yeah,
brilliant.
I think it's maybe part of the intro or before he gets into the meat of the corruption, but he basically goes through like a theoretical conversation with the student. And one of the questions they bring up is, well, it's the oldest. So then he asks, okay, so you think oldest means most pure? And he attacks that whole question, and the way he does it is just so tactful. I was like,
But
wow, I never
nowadays,
thought of that
yeah,
question being kind of erroneous in itself.
and nowadays that's completely untrue anyway, because we found manuscripts since then that are older than the Sinaiticus. They don't contain as much as what Sinaiticus does, because, like you say, Sinaiticus is almost a complete, the complete Bible. But we
Hmm.
have found earlier manuscripts that support the Textus Receptus rather than
Mm,
critical text. So it that older and better argumentation isn't even valid on the basis of older now.
right.
I mean, we found papyrus and P40 P72 is older, P43 is older, P66 is older. Sometimes they agree with Sinaiticus, sometimes they don't.
Mm.
Um,
All right, have a good one. So with I think is one of Hasad's claims when me and him had talked. I know you and Unbiased went over it, but one of his claims was, along with Sinaiticus, that Pappus 1 and Pappus 2 say that Joseph begat Jesus. Now I did the research. Papyrus 1 contains Matthew 1:16, but it doesn't say Joseph begat Jesus. Papyrus
no, it
2
doesn't.
doesn't even contain it
No, it
at
contains
all.
John. It's just John.
Yeah, I think it's John and Luke.
Tiny.
Um,
It might be, yeah, it might be Luke or John. There's a tiny little piece of manuscript at P2.
right. But I think Ambayo said that you mentioned that there's a manuscript that's older, or a papyrus that's older than Papyrus
Papyrus
1. Because
37, you
Papyrus 1, I
said?
think I think Papyrus 1 is 5th century. What'd you say?
I think LJ said Papyrus 37.
I think it's Papyrus P37 is the oldest manuscript that we have of Matthew. Yeah.
Oh, just the whole book of Matthew.
I'm not sure exactly what P37 contains, but I know it contains Matthew 1:16 anyway.
Okay. All right. I'll look at it. I don't have the book in front of me. Actually, wait. I might be able to pull it up on logos.
Yeah, P37.
Textual criticism 2.
It reads the same as the rest of the Greek, so it certainly there's nothing in it to say that, but it's older than P1 and older than P2.
P37.
I think it's dated to 250, 260.
201 to 400. That's what I see right here. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought I saw. So it only contains a good portion of Matthew 26, basically verses 19 through 52. So I was just trying to find that if there was an earlier manuscript, that would just be kind of
Mm.
something for just my education. Oh yeah, it's pretty interesting. Yeah, I like those set of books that I got. The text of the earliest New Testament Greek manuscripts. That thing's pretty handy. I don't think I saw another set of books that were like it. Maybe as I dive more into it, I'll probably find some. And there's an online website, but you need to get approval to view the manuscripts. I've been trying to get approval for it. I think I sent the email out and I was letting them know, hey, this is educational purposes. I'm trying to get access to you guys' manuscript library, and I haven't heard anything back. So I don't know if you have to be enrolled in like a
Which
biblical,
manuscript?
school.
Which site is that?
Give me a second. Let me find it. Remember, I was just looking up manuscripts a while ago, and this was a site I ran into. Um,
It might be. Is it CSNTM?
um, it might be. Wait, let me see because there's another link above it. Let's see if it's this one. Yeah, I think it might be that one. CSNTM.
Yeah, the Center for the Study of New Testament Manuscripts. That's what it stands for.
Yep. Yeah, no, I think this is the website. Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I do have an app. If you guys have iPhone, man, this app is awesome. I still am trying to figure out how to look up certain verses and find the manuscripts or the papyrus that those are located on. But I know you can look up certain lectionaries, uncials, and all those, and it'll take you to a link, and you can actually like look at it. I don't know about a digital copy yet, but it's called NOBTS MSS or MSS. Yeah, MSS.
What was that? What? NO?
NOBTS TS space MSS. And the little icon should say New Testament Greek manuscripts or MSS.
No, I can't find that.
Yeah, I'll send you a actually dang, I have this one here. You got iPhone, right?
No.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's on the Apple Store.
Okay.
Or maybe if you type in New Testament Greek manuscripts, it might pop up.
Yeah, I'll have a look at that tomorrow and see if I can find it.
Yeah, I don't know who made this app, but whoever did is a freaking genius. Like it's a pretty nice, nicely organized library. You can search up different things, whatever. But it looks like it has a library of basically everything we have.
Can
I
you
mean, you can just scroll for days.
can you put the name of it into the chat there, Meech?
Oh
Just so
yeah,
that I
yeah,
can
I got you.
make sure that I'm getting it correct. I will search for it. I'll have a look for that tomorrow. Have you've got the Dean Burgeon book? Have you read the Westcott and Hort one?
The Westcott and Hort, what Virgin Birth?
No, on the text, because basically Dean Burgeon is arguing that his argumentation is basically against Westcott and Hort, who created
Right, right.
the critical text basically. So I don't know if you've got their book, but
Majority text, right? Isn't that what he
yeah,
calls it?
so it's the critical text, which was mostly um Codex Vaticanus, to be honest, but
Mm. Yeah,
must have.
I've read a little bit. I've only read the introductions. I haven't read the meat of volume one because a lot of it I started when I really didn't know Greek. So I'm trying to get a familiarization of Greek. So as I'm reading through things, I'm like, because he doesn't explain what the words are, so you kind of have to know a little bit of Greek
Yeah.
as you're reading. Um, but yeah, I haven't dug into it fully. I've dug into volume two a little bit because you know he shows you the clear differences across like all versions from various scriptures. But what did you what are you talking about in particular as far as what he's saying?
Well, no, it's just that their book is obviously the book which most modern textual scholars now have based their work on, and why they accept the modern critical text rather than the Textus Receptus. And in there they've got like rules of one of the rules for the critical text was that basically older is better. And they also like to choose the reading that is most difficult. So they will choose the most difficult reading because it's less likely to have been made up, apparently. That's their argumentation for it. So when you have Jude 1:5, when it says Jesus led a people out of Egypt, wherein the the Greek Textus Receptus and the King James Version, it says the Lord led the Israelites out of Egypt. They choose
Right.
Jesus in that verse. the only begotten God in John 1:18. These are
Right.
modern text readings. The
Mm.
modern text rejects the longer ending of Mark,
Hmm.
those types of things.
And the adulterous woman.
Yeah, I, so the modern text rejects it, but I think a lot of modern translations include it, but they put a footnote, just say
Right.
that
They put
this
that
is
footnote, not in the earliest.
not
Right.
original. Yeah,
Yeah. And there's also because I remember in the book he has a few appendixes, and one of them is the honeycomb, the rich young ruler, basically saying there's differences in the stories from the Texas Receptus to the critical text. I'll have to review it because I think the honeycomb threw me for a loop. There was a lot of Greek in there when I was reading it first starting
yeah.
off. Um, but yeah, I was just like, and then I think in his second volume, when you read the beginning, he says, I think there's over 65,000 words that have either been deleted or changed completely. I'm like, wow, that's a lot. And he's talking about the Greek text, not the English.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's literally from the text receptus to the critical text, there are verses that are completely missing, that are not in,
Hmm.
like Acts 8:37, that is not in the critical text. It's just not there. If you get versions such as, I think, like, I'd like to say the ESV, but it's probably the NASB as well. That verse is
Yeah.
just not there. It goes from Acts 8:36 to Acts 8:38, and there's no text, just literally no text at all.
Wow. I know Matthew 17 and 21 as well. That's another
Uh,
one.
yeah, and Matthew 18:11. So there's quite a few verses that are completely missing.
Yeah. Yeah, I started getting deep into it because my pastor's the one that told me about those two books. And he was doing a lesson about he has this whole series on it. It doesn't go crazy in depth, but it gives you enough to kind of be like, oh wow. He uses the witness of the early church fathers. There's like at least more than five before the supposed authoring of the Sinaiticus that all quote the ending of Mark 16.
Oh, there's um there's loads of people that quote that, and we also have Latin that has it as well.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, there's a lot of people that quote the ending of Mark. I
Mm.
don't even know how anybody can reject the longer ending of Mark, to be honest. There's only two Greek manuscripts that we've got like 1600 and something manuscripts that contain Mark,
Hmm.
and I think so. It's two Greek and one Latin that don't contain it.
That don't have it.
Yeah,
Mm.
Vaticanus and Sinaiticus in the Greek.
Yeah, that's interesting. And
Yeah,
then I
and
think
even
he even talks about how Dean Burgeon, he talks about how the cursives actually agree like 75 or more percent with the Texas Receptus than the West Cotton Hort or the critical text.
mm, mm. Yeah, I'm a King James person myself, and I don't really utilize the. I love textual criticism, and that's what I study the most. But um,
Mm.
I'm I reject the modern versions. I don't utilize that. I utilize them in study, but not in my own study of actual biblical things. I utilize them in textual criticism, and that's it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like to look at the other versions when we're doing virgin birth discussions. They'll be like, oh, pull up the NLT. Well, okay, keep the NLT out. Go to this verse over here. and it just
Yeah.
cuts their doctrine.
I don't see anything wrong with utilizing them, but I just see like if if the King James if they disagree with the King James version for a specific reason, you've either not understood the King James version or the other version is wrong. That's my position.
Right. Like I get if there's a translation difference in the same word, but if
Yeah,
there's words that just don't appear at all, then
yeah.
I'm like, wait,
I'll go with the
what?
King James.
Um, like
You, you,
I'm still curious on why they translated Hebrews 2:16 the way they did, where they say he came not to take on the nature of angels. I know nature of isn't in the text, but took
yeah.
on. That was an interesting translation when every other translation says help.
So yeah. Um. So when it says there, yeah, because that's obviously in italics in the King James. For verily he
Right.
took not on him the nature of is in italics. They've added that in basically.
Right. And I think the confusing part is taking on,
Yeah.
and you see nature of, so you think taking on just means, I think it's maybe a language difference in the Elizabethan English,
Oh,
possibly, and why they translated it that way.
most definitely. Yeah.
Because most people will say, yeah, he didn't come to take on the form of an angel. He came on to take on the form of the descendant of Abraham.
Yeah.
That's how I've always read it. Um, so yeah, I just thought that was, when I'm biased about that, I was like, oh, that's interesting. Maybe I might have to get me an Elizabethan dictionary.
Yeah, because looking at those, the vast majority of them would say, for surely it is not angels he helps, but Abraham's
Hmm.
descendants, and that's a completely different meaning than taking on the nature of basically the seed of Abraham.
Right.
Yeah, I'd have to look into that a little bit more in depth, actually, myself.
Yeah. So I'm biased. When's this debate with Captain taking place?
Yeah, so Captain, I think he's scrambling. He's trying to figure out what I know and what I don't know. And why would that matter if you have the truth? Why would it matter if you?
Yeah, bro. Unlist. Make all your videos that are public. Are you all of them are unlisted anyways?
Yeah, so he says this often, and most of them say this often. They mostly say, "I done heard it all. You're not gonna say anything new." So hold to that. Hold to that. You heard it all. Now, but he's not, because when I brought up Luke 136, that could, and when you debate the vertebrae with these guys, nobody starts off with Luke 136 as the argument, like as the main point. I think
Right.
that threw him off. He was like, "Oh, man, nobody starts with this." Like, so that will suspend his idea that he heard it all. It's like that was something you just heard. He was caught off.
Yeah. Hopefully he catches. Hopefully he catches your old conversations where you're not as seasoned and thinks he has you.
Yeah, his problem is going to be he needs to say something new. He needs to say something new.
Yeah.
That's his problem. Like, dude, if you come with all of you, what you already said already, you're gonna have a hard time because I'm going to be able to just show that I'm more competent than him on every verse we read. He's going to read it, confuse
Mm.
everybody. I'm going to read it, and everybody's edified. That's his problem. And I don't think he's going to try the Eusebius account with me with the this person died and this person died. So both these are Joseph lineage. I don't know if he wants to do that because LJ, I'm ready to. Hey, you can have it. You can have both. You can have both of these lineages for Joseph. Oh, you thought I needed Luke 3 for Mary? No, 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 no. Go ahead and take. Go ahead and take. Luke 3 and take Matthew 1. You're right. They're both Joseph. I'm gonna still show you Mary is David. She's from the line of David. I'm still show you. So that's his thing. Like they think they take that from you, that you can't show it. So then he might have to do a Hasad and throw away Luke 2 altogether. I mean, throw away Luke, the entire chapter. They had chapter entire book altogether. So they gotta go to that strategy. Throw away the entire book. Now, what's interesting is this: is that they will say throw away Luke chapter 2 because it's a second hand source, but they'll say keep the Syriac Sinaiticus when it's a, I mean, it's
Third
worse than
hand source.
it's
Or it's
worse.
like fourth hand.
It's worse than that because at least Luke is authentic. What you got
Right.
is a translation. That's worse than a hearsay. You got a
That's somebody who wasn't there at
translation.
all.
Like what you have is this. Like at least Luke is doing his own research, getting people opinions, and what you got is okay. Let me tell you what Luke was trying to say. That's what you got. No journalism at all. And guess
But
what?
the,
And
the Syriac Sinaiticus contains Luke.
I was going to say that. I was going to say that was the next thing I was going to say. I was going to say, and in your hearsay, no, worse than that. In your, let me tell you what Luke trying to say. Book, you got Luke in there as well. So your Luke is worse than the Luke in the Greek. It's
Yeah.
worse.
And
It's
even if he
translation.
pulls that out, you could be like, if he pulls out Eusebius and he says, well, Luke is a second-hand witness, be like, well, what hand witness is Eusebius?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, Captain won't say that. Yeah, so it's funny because they got Sakari and ISP got different arguments. So Sakari won't use Eusebius; they'll use Syriac Sinaiticus, and Captain won't use
But
Syriac Sinaiticus.
Eusebius is only repeating what Africanus said. But Eusebius is literally stating what Africanus stated.
Hmm.
So that is a second-hand source
Do
anyway.
we
Wow.
do we find Julius Africanus's like words in that in the early church father writings or no?
So I'm pretty sure that most of the writings of Africanus um are contained within the writings of other church fathers, because we don't have his
Mm.
works, his extant works. They've been lost. So all we have really for him is the quotations, such as Eusebius, of his work. So Eusebius literally is quoting what Africanus stated, because Africanus is not ar Africanus is not arguing against the virgin birth. What he's arguing is that there's people were saying that there was a contradiction between Luke and Matthew. Why are the genealogies different? And Africanus doesn't say anything about Mary not being a virgin. What he's arguing is that the the lineage is both Joseph's, one of them legal and one of them natural line. But that's his only argument. Nothing to do with the virgin birth, because in both of those genealogies, Joseph is not the father either way. And that isn't his point. He's just arguing that there's there's no contradiction between the two manuscript between the two genealogies. That's all. That's all he's trying to do.
Mm.
So Africanus believed in the
Oh, look.
virgin birth. Eusebius believed in the virgin birth. They both argued for the virgin birth.
So Captain may say, he may say, well, where in here does it explicitly say, or Eusebius makes it clear he believes in the virgin birth?
Let me find you the quotation.
That's where he may go.
Yeah, well, I'll find you the quotation from Eusebius. 2 minutes, I'm find it.
Yeah, I was hoping Captain repeated what he said in his little, like, because he had like a little study thing, like in the house study with the virgin birth, and it was live, so he was allowing people to ask questions. and he went to Matthew 1:16. I was hoping he did this with me, but he knew better. He said, "Yeah." So I said, "What word?" He says, "The whom." Oh wait, not with me. In his private study or public study, he said, "The whom" is pointing to Joseph. I was hoping like hell he said that while I was there. That would have been ugly. So he knew not to do that. So if he's not going to use whom, make a mistake and say whom, what other word can he? I mean, he's done, and he was done. He had a fork all in him. He was done. He had nothing. And verse 18, he never even completed 18, 19, 20. He was trying to like, uh, you know, you know why I kind of handicapped him on purpose. I said, brother, without jumping around all these different books, can we just read here and come up with what's going on? So therefore, he couldn't do the ceremony thing. Came together. He said, "What did he say? To live with each other." He was just all over the place, man. He did a horrible job. I said, "What's the public example that Joseph didn't want to do? And what is the putting away?" So I think he said hiding her. And I said, "Brother, when the word put away, when does when it comes to a man, this is always divorce. When does a man hide his woman?" So then he focuses on privily. Like he says, privily means was it him or somebody else? I think he's privily means secretly, some goofy stuff. But here's a problem: that word privily is used again, and it's not. Well, I'll tell it. So remember Herod? He was looking for. He got the three wise men privily. He talked to them privily.
Mm-hmm.
Was he concealing
Yeah.
them? You remember, they say privily means conceal. So when King Herod privily called three wise men to ask about Jesus, was he concealing them? Was he hiding them
No, he was
away?
talking in private.
Right. So
Right.
yeah, it's retarded. See, the thing is, when we say something means something, we could find that same word somewhere else, and many other places use the same way we said it is. These guys say came together means some craziness, and they can't show it anywhere else where it means what they just said.
Right. Unbiased. It's in Eusebius's Church History, Book 2, Chapter 1, and it
Hold on,
reads,
wait a minute. I had just closed it out too.
okay,
The
so
other you gonna find it. All right, hold on.
it's in Book 2, Eusebius Church History, Book 2, Chapter 1, Section 2.
Wait, I'm about to get. I think I have. It's loading up. I think this is it. Okay. I think so. What did you say?
So where are you? So it's in Eusebius's Church History.
You said church history?
Book
Yeah.
2,
Book 2,
I don't think I had that.
Section 2,
first Chapter 1, Section 2. Yeah.
What is
Chapter
it?
1. Okay.
What does it say?
So it literally states, Then James, whom the ancients surnamed the Just, on account of the excellence of his virtue, is recorded to have been the first to be made bishop of the Church of Jerusalem. This James was called the brother of the Lord because he was known as the son of Joseph. And Joseph was the supposed to be the father of Christ because the virgin, being betrothed to him, was found with child by the Holy Ghost before they came together.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
And then he literally states Matthew 1:18 as the account of the Holy Gospel shows. So he utilizes was the supposed to be the father of Christ, which is a quotation of Luke, because the virgin was betrothed to him, which is a quotation of Matthew 1:18. So he's using both Luke and Matthew there to create that statement. So if they say that Luke isn't authoritative, but they want to use Eusebius, then you just go and say, well, he utilizes Luke.
Okay, so I think I found it. So it starts off with how does it start off again?
So it's a
It says
little
that
bit of
at that same time.
where is it? So yeah,
I read
it-
at that same time also James, who was called the brother of the Lord.
yeah,
All right, hold on.
that's the
Okay,
one.
hold on. All right, yeah. So this reads slightly different because this is the ecclesiastical history of this Pamphilus. So I'm gonna share my screen. So it's kind of like similar, but just words like kind of. So I guess he repeated it. All right, so we're here, chapter
Where are
one.
you?
Like you said, so this is the ecclesiastical history of Eusebius
Yeah,
Pamphilus.
yeah, that's basically it.
So this is 86. This is the 86th slide, chapter one. Make it bigger. Okay, that's good. Let me make this smaller. Okay, it says, then James, right here,
Yeah, that's it.
the brother of the Lord, because he is also called the son of Joseph. For Joseph was esteemed the father of Christ, because the virgin, being betrothed to him, she was found with child of the Holy Ghost, before they came together, as a narrative of the Holy Ghost. This is it right here?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
basically it there. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So he utilizes Luke,
Okay, book two, I got it.
Luke and Matthew in that statement, and utilizes the word virgin there as well, and explains how she was pregnant by the Holy Ghost.
Yeah, it said, as the narrative of the Holy Ghost gospel shows, therefore, from ancients on account of the excellent virtue surnamed the just, was the first that received it. It's, it's complete. Yeah. All right. Preliminary book two. Got it. I got it.
But it in the exact same way as what they're trying to utilize that one manuscript, the Sinaiticus, the Syriac Sinaiticus. They're trying to utilize one manuscript and trying to say that that manuscript supersedes all of the other Greek manuscripts that we have. They're not. They're literally trying to utilize Africanus, one person who they think kind of supports them, one church father out of I could probably name you 25, 30 church fathers who all wrote about the virgin birth. Now they haven't even used, they don't even understand what Africanus is saying. But two, they're cherry picking again. They're just taking one person
Right.
who they
Yeah.
think supports them against all the other church fathers.
The exact definition of cherry picking.
So I'm biased. All you got to do if he brings that out, of course, bring these things out, but just be like, where did Eusebius say that the virgin birth did not happen
Right.
in that, or where did Julius Africanus say that? Are they speaking about the genealogies or the actual virgin birth of Joseph being the father?
It's absolutely irrelevant whether both of those genealogies are of Luke of Joseph or not, because that's not what Africanus is arguing against. He's not saying that the virgin birth didn't happen, and certainly not Eusebius.
Right.
So
Yeah, when they did a debate review on Vocab's channel of him and Cap's debate, He had somebody come on, and man, he was just embarrassing him by just quotes from Eusebius. It was bad. It was bad.
Yeah. The church fathers didn't deny the virgin birth. That's the thing, that nobody denied the virgin birth. The only ones that denied it were the Ebionites.
So, hey
Right.
Dante, what's your question? So Dante has a question. What's the question, Dante's? Yeah, Tone, exactly, Tone. Joseph was the father. Yeah, so we didn't even bring that out. You know, oh my God, the curse of Jeconiah, they're gonna struggle with that. I watched Sakari try to explain that. I watched ISPK, and they just dropped the ball. It's just terrible. Like these guys are, and you got to stress his seed. You got to stress that seed.
See if they know who Irenaeus is as well. That's because he was one of the very early church fathers who wrote about the virgin birth, long before Africanus. So
Mm.
Justin Martyr, Irenaeus, Ignatius, they all believed in it. And this is, you're talking about in the first 130 years after, so they're all first and second century writers.
Oh, I see what Dante's question is.
What is it?
Um, he's still trying to make sense of this because day 4 breakdown, same verse. Hebrews 12:16 and 17, and Genesis 36:8. Okay, so he's saying because Esau is mentioned there. Um, let me just pull it up real quick, 'cause maybe we didn't fully answer it. 6 through 8. Um, yeah, but even in Genesis 36:8, that's Esau himself. That's one man. It's not put for all of Esau's descendants. No, it's
Oh,
not used how Jacob is used for Israel. It's not used in that way.
he says
So
Esau.
he's
Esau, like it has to say Edomites.
yeah.
What?
That's why in verse
What's
38 it says Esau is Edom.
Oh, Esau is Edom. It's not.
Right. It's giving you the qualification there. But in Hebrews 12, it's about individuals themselves and an individual characteristic of what not to become, what you don't want to be, just as Esau himself was. Because not all the Edomites were wicked. A lot of the Edomites worked alongside Israelites in the history of Israel. Yeah, Dante, my best advice is to trace out Esau, Edom throughout the whole Old Testament, and just let the text speak for itself. And then keep in mind Acts 23, Felix, Acts 24, Agrippa. Those are Edomites. Take their accounts in as well, and Paul's conversation with them and what he's doing with them, and what Hebrew Israelites say is impossible to do with Edomites because they won't inherit the kingdom, and all these other things. Just pay attention to the words they use and what they mean, and see what the scripture says. Because some of them are slick. They try to say, "Oh, Gentiles will be saved; they'll just be servants."
Yeah.
Well, how
Yeah.
is that salvation if you're still in servitude? But even that whole idea doesn't make sense, because aren't in the kingdom will be ruling and serving each other?
Yeah.
You know, that's what I don't get.
Yeah,
Christ said he came down not to be ministered unto, but to minister.
that's the verse in Revelation, and that he who goes into took into captivity must go into captivity is a completely butcher of that verse as well.
Right, right.
You led
Well,
into
doesn't it read in the Greek, he that is led into captivity shall go into captivity or something along those lines?
Yeah, that's what it reads. Um,
Yeah.
it's in Revelation 13, I think, somewhere in there.
Yeah, it's like saying he that is eating a ham sandwich shall eat a ham sandwich. Yeah, he's doing it. He's gonna be doing it, you know. I think that's kind of just yeah, maybe
Yeah,
yeah, I've heard that breakdown in other places.
yeah, they've butchered it. I can do a full breakdown of that, but it'll take a while. Probably
Mm.
not best to do it now. Here, other topics going on, but
You got anything on your channel for that?
yeah, it's in my book. I literally in my book. I did a whole passage
Oh,
on that.
okay. I still have yet to read that thing. I've been in so many other studies. I'll go check it out and look at your breakdown on it.
It's
Yeah, like whenever I get books, they stay on my shelf until I need them. Like when I get in the actual study. So like my wife the other day, because I kept buying books, she was like, "When are you gonna read these?" I was like, well, "You don't read them, you study them." She had no
yeah.
idea what I meant, you know. But
A lot of
yeah,
people
when I
say
get
to me
into the
about my
whole
books, you don't read your books, and I'm like, I, my books are there when I need one page.
right, right. I
I
showed
need a
my wife
quotation
the
from somebody, and that's it.
yeah.
That's what I go for.
I showed my wife. I was like, babe, look at the McClinic and Strong's. You see that whole thing? If I wanted to read that front to back, it'll take me years to do
Hmm.
that. You don't read these things, you know, because then if you read them front to back, you're really not focusing on getting certain information. It's gonna pass in one ear and go out the other. Yeah, and I definitely noticed that doing different studies with I'm biased, especially the first time he took me to what was it, Genesis 38 with Onan. And I was in the same position that many other people are. That, oh, that was, you know, he spilled it. I was like, yeah, that's the what's called. He's like, well, it doesn't say it. I was like, oh, I was like, oh, you're right. Okay.
Yeah. I really, I really, really, really look at the words like over and over and over, and then it just sticks out like a sore thumb. Literally, you'd be like, okay, oh, like when I did the like 12 years ago or nine, whatever. The I kept reading Matthew 1 all the way down to 16 over and over and over, and that just came out like, yo, this is always next to the woman. I'm like, is this showing the woman's relationship? I said, wait, let me look at all the women. All the I said, oh my God, I got them. And then
Mm.
I kept reading Luke over and over and over. And then something said to read further down. I read she was there for how many months? Then I Googled like when did I literally was like 3 months. I said, let me because I believe she's pregnant. So let me see like how long does it take for women to show? I swear it said it didn't list the months, it listed the weeks. So I had to go, okay, well,
Yeah, 10 weeks. Yep.
how many months is that? I said, oh my, I said, I cannot believe. And when I talked to Israelites back in those days, it was like I was speaking in Syriac. Like these guys were just clueless. Like they couldn't even like everybody signed the guy from the other day. See the sperm, see this children. Like they were just clueless. It was like it wasn't fun talking to these guys because they couldn't follow. Like so now their brain caught up a little bit, but they could kind of get it. But back, man, 10 years ago, they were like just like, yeah, I don't get what you're saying. It was just so boring. Like, all right, never mind, bro. Let's debate who's Esau. All right, come on, let's do that. Okay, so now
Take
I'm
it,
gonna put
Meech. You watch that the debate between Captain and Vocab then.
Yeah. I watched it.
Yeah, I only watched it the other day. I found it. I don't know how I didn't watch that before.
Yeah, no, it was good, dude. I was surprised. Bocat brought out some really good points and real simple points. Like he kept it pretty balanced on what he brought out.
You know what? Thank you. I'm gonna go back. I forgot they debated. He brought out some early stuff. You know what? I'm gonna go back and look at that.
Yeah. One
Oh
of the
yeah,
things I
and
was
you
going to say to you, unbiased, was that he kept on. It seemed like Captain kept on at one point where he was Second Samuel 7:12 about
Yeah,
the seed of David, that and he was kept saying, where does it change, the prophecy. And what all you need to do with that one is to show him that the prophecy is
yeah, fulfilled.
no, it was progressive, because the prophecy was first given to Abraham. Well, so the prophecy was given to Abraham before the Israelites and David even existed.
Right,
So yes, it was given to David, but it was first given to Abraham.
right.
It was then given to Judah. So God is narrowing it down. Literally, it can be any of the
All,
seed of Abraham.
all the way
Then
from.
it had to be through the line of Judah. Then it had to be through the line of David.
But
Then
look,
it had to be from the woman. So it
don't forget.
changes. It's progressive.
and then it couldn't be from Jeconiah.
Then it
But don't
couldn't be
forget.
from Jeconiah.
It started with
Yeah.
Eve.
So it changes. Yeah. And then the seed of the woman, which goes. So eventually it goes full circle. It starts off in Genesis 3:15. Then it goes to Abraham. Then it goes to Judah. Then it goes to David. And then it goes back to the woman.
Yep.
Hmm.
So the woman has to be from David. So she has to be from the tribe of Judah, but she has to be of the lineage of Abraham, but she also has to be the woman of Genesis 3:15.
Right. Yep.
Hmm.
So I want y'all to listen to this right here, right? Because you guys know that when you, I think he tried it with Meech as well. But Hasad, normally when you talk about Matthew 1:16, he'll run to the Greek. I'm going to play our exchange, and you're going to see that he. I mean, I was on mute while you were talking. I was like watching it, and he just like really conceded without even trying to convince me of the Greek. It's like, do they know who I am? Because he didn't even watch this. So now look, I wanna. All right, so listen to the exchange until he says, okay, I gotta look into that. So once he says that, then you guys can talk. So I want it to like be. So I'm not going to add a little bit. I want it to be a clear stretch of just us having a conversation, because I want to clip this. I want to use it as a clip for later. All right, so I'm going to share my screen and play it. And then when he gets done and say, okay, I got to look into that. And this is irrelevant. Once you go there, I'm gonna stop it. We just can chop it up. But look at this. Normally he'll stop you and say, "Hey, man, no, right there, Joseph begot Jesus." He'll go to that spill. I just noticed like he didn't do that, unless I'm missing something. So I'm gonna play it right now. And every generation is from parent to offspring. So now, if you look at verse 16, so the scholars are confused at verse 16. It's like a lot of controversy, because it said Jacob begot Joseph. That's like the last. That's 11 and 12. Jacob is 11 as from Babylon. Let me say that, coming from Babylon. If you count from there, Jacob is 11 and Joseph is 12. Okay, so Jesus will be 14, but there's no generation, like there's no begot Jesus here. So you have Mary.
That, that, that's not true.
Okay, so just hear this real quick, and then I'll hear you out. So if you look at Mary, it says Mary is of born of Jesus, right? Because born, only women could, born and birth people. So it established so it actually 42. So the 42:1 is Mary to Jesus. So it switches from, and I kind of skipped because I'm like out of breath. But let me just say this: it could be a parent offspring or parents and offspring. Because as you know, when mothers are listed, a couple times in the earlier chapters, right? So, but it established a father offspring. It established father, mother, offspring, like let's say Ruth, and then it established just the mother offspring in 16. So Mary and Jesus will be 13, 14.
Okay. I mean, I'd have to look into that. I mean, just bluntly, that has absolutely no relevance whatsoever to.
Now
So
he is quick to dismiss something when he doesn't understand it. Quick to do that.
yeah, he said that has no relevance. That's all I think he was saying. It has no relevance to do with anything. But we're reading in verse 1, the generation of Jesus
And
Christ.
we're reading verse 16.
Yeah.
We're reading verse 16, and I go back over it, and you say that's irrelevant.
Yeah, I think it's their inability to understand what a generation is, what it comprises of, and
No,
who is in Jesus' generation.
but not just that. Everything I just said, because these guys don't further research anything. So uh, this is why I can say, hey, man, in Matthew's, like the same way you guys could look at something and say, hey, man, it looks like that something's missing here. When I look at Matthew's 1 and 19, it says, and Joseph being a just man. Well, in the Greek, I don't just man. I believe it just says, and Joseph being just. So he's being just. He's actively being just. This is not past tense. It's not his past accolades, right? This is what he's doing right now. And the reason why he's just right now because he don't want to make a public example. So he's just for the opposite reasons that West would say he's just. West would say he's just because he was going to stone her. Some craziness like that. Okay. What we're reading in Matthew 119, he's being called just for the actions of not willing to make her a public example, but rather divorcing her privately. So it says he's being just, like he's actively just in his decisions right now.
Yeah,
Right.
as we said, unbiased. The thing is that right at this moment, Joseph doesn't. Joseph only knows that he hasn't made her pregnant. He doesn't know how she's become pregnant.
Right.
He can't get her stoned because you cannot be stoned for rape. So if Mary was raped and became pregnant, he couldn't have her stoned anyway. He doesn't know how she is pregnant.
Right. Yep.
So he can't make a public example of her because so he is being just. He's not making a public example because he doesn't know how she's pregnant. But as you say, he's being
Yeah.
just in that position. It's only when
And
the angel
some
explains
translations,
it.
right. And some translations say because he was just, this is why he didn't do this and he was willing to do this or thinking about doing this.
Mm. He just doesn't know how Mary is pregnant right now
Right. At all.
because she's been away for 3 months.
Yes, it looks like he don't want those Jews that met Jesus. He don't want them to find her and to bring her to, hey guys, look what we found. But he like, yo, listen, let me help and send you on your way. So divorce you and depart from you where, because this ain't gonna go right. So
Yeah.
it looks like so when he's divorcing her, is it for her own good or his own good?
I think it's both.
What do you think he's most concerned with? Him dying or her dying?
Oh, probably her dying. Oh, actually, no, wait, no. Him dying.
Right. Fear not, Joseph.
Right. Yeah.
So he's trying to divorce her. He still got respect for her, but he's divorcing her so he doesn't die. So I don't end up going into her and I'm found guilty. So let me hurry up and because I can easily just point around and say, "Hey guys, this ain't mine."
Unbiased.
Yep.
You're right. You're absolutely right. In the law, if a man finds a woman that is betrothed, no, because I'm just thinking, the other man would have to be put to death.
Right. He has like a half concocted case before him, kind of like how Jesus did, in the same way where they were like, "Oh, stone her," but they didn't
Yeah,
bring the man. They said they caught her in the very act, and if that was true, they would have brought the man too. That would make no sense to just bring the woman. Um, but yeah, it's basically that's before him. He has the evidence, but he doesn't have all the evidence. So he's like, okay, at least I'm thinking she slept with someone else. So the most just thing I can do is divorce her. I can't have her stoned because yeah, she could have been, RAPED.
yeah. There's he has to have witnesses under
Right.
the law,
Yep.
Yep.
and he doesn't have any, so he cannot do anything about it.
Yep.
Right. That's how I was telling Tobias about the woman caught in adultery. Remember when Jesus said, "Whoever be without sin, cast the first stone."
Yeah,
You remember that? Yeah, yeah. So, when Jesus said that, he was actually signaling the first witness to step forward and place his hands on the victim first, because that's what the law states. The first witness come forward, place his hands. But if what he's accusing her of, if it's false, then that same judgment he would have met on the victim would have been met on
exactly,
him.
exactly. Because you
So
would
that's
be
So
acting
Joseph
as a
was in that.
false witness without if you're coming on your own, you're acting as a false witness.
Right.
that's why I asked one brother. I said, because he acted like it was no big deal. He said, "Yeah, no. See, what happens is he brought it to Jesus, and the other party wasn't there. So Jesus said, "Man, I ain't with this." Like he had no interest. Like, whoever got the first stone cast it if you're without sin. So I was like, brother, but that's not how it works because usually somebody's held accountable. So it's either she's held accountable for her actions or he is. So then I was like using Deuteronomy 22 as an example. I wasn't doing story for story. I was just showing how the man made a claim about a woman. In one scenario, he was lying and he was held accountable. And the second scenario, she was held accountable. That's all I was saying. I said, so Jesus wouldn't have, that wouldn't have been that dismissive. You just can't make a claim and say, "Hey, she's found an act of adultery. All right, everybody go home," and everybody just go home. I'm like, yo, where in the law is that? Like, usually somebody's held accountable, but he kind of didn't get it, and he did a whole rabbit hole show. I was like, oh my god. All right, Matthew's 1:16.
Get ready for the bloody sheets with Captain.
Oh, now now he's on notice right now. He's thinking about a topic. Okay, he's thinking about a favorable topic. He ain't even thinking about what he's gonna say. Like the topic is gonna determine what he's gonna say. He's not even thinking like he's like, okay, I'm dealing with a guy who I never heard of, but he seems like he's really good in his book, especially on this. Okay, how am I gonna get up off my heels? The topic will get him off my heels. So I need a favorable topic because the regular stories, he's on me. He's on me. He got me in Luke 1, he got me in Matthew 1. Okay, so he's all over me. And I was making him think hard about what you're saying. Damn, that does like he does make more sense with 118. Sheesh. All right. So I need a favorable topic. That's the only way I can win this one. That's how you're thinking right now. He's thinking about what topic we're gonna call it. And to me, it's simple: is the virgin birth true, or is Joseph the daddy?
Right. Not if how is Jesus from Judah if he doesn't have a father?
Yeah,
Not
those questions are goofy. And the thing is, he's really in my palm because he came on the show. We had like 900 people watching. He got manhandled, and if he doesn't debate me at all, people gonna look at like he ran because he was the one that was struggling, not me. Obviously, I was very confident and cocky, and I was making my points. I was smart. So he's the one that's like, oh, I gotta fulfill what I said. And like you said, I don't want to make the title "How is Jesus from Judah?" It's like, dude, we're not arguing that. We're arguing Luke 1 and Matthew 1. We're not arguing if he's from Judah. We know he's from Judah. It says the son of David, the son of Abraham, and it says that he's the king born of Jews and he's a Jew in John 4. So we know he's from Judah. That's not in question. What's in question is who's his daddy.
Hey LJ, did you see their discussion on Sonetta?
Yeah.
Did did you see when Catherine was like, "Give me the horn," when he was he was begging for
Yeah. I made a good point. Give me a horn.
Right, right.
the Bias was just going. He was just going along with the virgin birth, and he was just reading it. And Sonetta was like, "Uh oh."
Right. I did the
Yeah,
natural.
that was funny. Yeah.
Did he ask me any questions? I can't remember.
Um, I think he just no, I don't think so. I think you were just asking him questions. He might have asked you one near the end.
What's a question we could ask them that might be difficult for them to answer?
What happens if you don't show your father's house?
And
Or no. How do you show your father's house? That would actually be a better one.
how about how do you show your how about how does the woman show her father's house? Because
Mm,
if they're asking what tribe Mary's from, brother, how does a woman show her father's house? Book, chapter, verse.
right.
No results found. So why are you asking me something that cannot be proven? Like there's no instruction.
Mm.
So you can't say something is impossible or it's not there when there are no instructions.
Hey, unbiased, pull up the one clip from my channel on my shorts when we asked that guy what happens if you don't show your father's house.
That was funny.
I don't know if LJ seen this one.
The
No,
wine
I haven't seen it.
the wine congregation, man.
But yeah.
You could ask them why Paul never mentions Joseph. Why he only ever mentioned why if the because Paul was a Jew. If the lineage through the man is the most important thing, why is it only that he says that Jesus is from a woman? Never mentions the father at all. We all know that men are made from women, but they're all made from men as well. So if the importance was that he was in the flesh, why is it not through the man?
Right.
Oh, you know
Hmm.
what? You know how Captain responded to that? Captain said it was kind of funny. He said he read something where it says he's the son of man because I think he was responding to a guy's phone for. He said, "Y'all gonna read this? Say son of woman. Y'all think y'all got something?" He read something. It says he's the son of man. He said, "So now, son of woman, son of man. You see?" And he said, "This even sound better." He said, "Can you imagine some brother talking about, hey, follow me. I'm the son of a woman." He said, we're gonna be like, man, get out of here. But if the other guy said, hey man, follow me, I'm the son of a man. He said that they will probably like somebody follow after him. It was kind of funny.
Okay, so look, check this out. I'm gonna share screen. Yeah. So this is the clip. Can you guys hear this?
Not yet.
You got, all right, let me make sure my. Okay, I gotta share sound. All right. Not if you don't declare it. If it's not declared at all, what happens?
What do you mean? What happens?
What happened?
What happens if you can't show your father's house?
What happens?
We're asking
I'm
you.
asking you.
I mean, you tell me.
we were kind of itching them over to Ezra 2. You remember in Ezra 2 they were kicked out of the priesthood. But what's interesting there is it says that they were showing their father's house or the registry from their genealogy. We're trying to just kind of move them over there so we can get back to Luke 1 or Luke 3 and Matthew 1.
Yeah, he wasn't with
But
that.
he did. Yeah. He wasn't with nothing.
I mean, I said, you tell me.
That was funny. Oh man.
Yeah, so these guys are fun. Yeah, they're fun.
Oh, did you take down the video of me and old boy that the video's titled today? You take that video down?
Which one?
Me and Hasad's discussion.
Gotta take down a video with you and who?
Hasad.
No.
Oh, because I made clips. I made clips from it, and it just said that the video is no longer available. So.
Oh, okay. No. Yeah, so sort of. I moved it to the new channel.
Hmm.
I think. Let me double check. But it's supposed to be a new channel. Yeah, so that's why. Yeah. So the clips might have. Wait. No, I still can make the clip. No. Okay, hold on. Wait. So did you check your clips yet?
Yeah. I checked them.
See if they work.
Okay. Clips. Nope.
All right, hold on.
Oh, you edited it. That's why.
Wait, hold on. No. Hold on. Wait a minute.
Excuse me.
So you said the clip didn't work, right?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me see about that.
Checking out.
Yeah, check it now.
Okay. Yeah, it worked.
Like butter, baby.
Bro, I had this one clip of clip of Ariala reading something from the Greek and just butchering it, but he edited the video, so my clip got messed up.
How you know you're lying, yo?
He read Prototokos, firstborn from, but he read it so weird, bro. I don't even remember how he said it. I'm gonna try to find it and pull it up because dude, it's hilarious. He
Yo.
might have.
Yeah, remember he trying to say infinitive. Wait, no, what did he say? What were he trying to say? That he just screwed it up.
The genitive.
Yeah.
He said gentative or something. He said something
Yeah,
weird.
that was hilarious. Yeah, I had my
Or how you pronounce the article.
yeah, I got my bloopers moment too, where you talking and then A word come up, my brain just go blank. I'd be like, sausage? Like, no, man, they don't say no damn sausage. It says salt her. Yeah, that happens, man.
Yeah, bro. Like, how are you writing books and you can't read?
You know, I think it's I think it's I think that I think what we're witnessing is that it's difficult to speak and be articulate when you know you're being recorded and you're in the like a back and forth. I think that
Yeah,
when people are going to make the most mistakes when they pronouncing words because the adrenaline, the frustration, yeah, you're a little compromised at that point. So I wouldn't mind him.
yeah,
So for me, some people have a problem with this. So for me, it wouldn't be a problem if he pronounced something wrong, or even if he quoted the wrong verse, but he meant to quote the right verse, and he went back and edited. I personally would not have a problem with that because he meant to
yeah,
quote the verse. This is hypothetical, but he quoted the wrong verse. Or even if he, I might even give him a leeway if he went to explain something. Now this part is a little tricky because maybe not. But if he tried to explain something and he didn't do it well, but he edited it and explained it better, okay. Now I would have a problem with it if my response was based upon his bad explanation, right? But if my response didn't really matter, then okay, I probably wouldn't care. But if my response was correcting you in your bad, yeah, then no, you can't change that because like some part of me, I want them to present their best. Like yeah, whatever, just present your best because you're gonna lose either way. But yeah, but if you're editing something where it looks like I lost, yeah, nah, that's that, or I lost a point, yeah, nah, that's I'm gonna have a problem with that.
yeah. And it was funny after me and his discussion, our debate. Like a month later, he did a whole segment on just the virgin birth, and he titled it "If You Believe Joseph Isn't the Daddy, You're an Idiot" or something like that.
These guys like early in their 30s, late 20s, just immature,
Oh.
very immature.
Hmm.
Yeah. Today, to me, today felt like a sad weekend all day. Man. It's like a weekend, man. It felt like tomorrow is Sunday football. That's what it felt to me. That's how the day went today. Like tomorrow, Sunday football. So I was hoping to get a visitor today. Looks like we're not gonna have a visitor. We almost had one.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a. I think I might do a video sometime this week breaking down the Syriac Sinaiticus like word for word in verse 16. Uh, yeah, I was gonna send it to Keek, but like I told you, he blocked me. I don't even know why.
Who?
The one dude that like the video that I talked to Hasad, we were talking to the guy Keek, and he
Blocked you?
called Hasad. Yeah, I don't even know why.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you why. Did you guys inbox each other back and forth, back and forth, back and forth?
Yeah,
Okay, so if you don't screen record it or screenshot it, when you block somebody, eventually all that is gonna like I think go away. I think if I remember, or at least his name, the words might stay there, but his name associated with the words is gonna go away.
right. Yeah.
So that's why when Hassan blocked me, I immediately screen recorded our exchange and I uploaded it so I won't ever not have it.
Right. Yeah, I still got. I wouldn't be surprised if Hasad blocked me because he called me from his phone. Yeah, I still got text messages from it.
So why do you think he blocked you again?
I think Hasad told him to block me.
No. They didn't Hassan block you too?
No, I don't, or at least I don't think so. I haven't had a conversation with him outside of the last one because the last time I texted him, he said he wanted to debate if God was a racist. I was like, nah, and we just kind of left
Oh,
it there.
yeah, and that's when he said, yeah, just block him. Yeah.
Oh, probably, yeah, because I don't know when he blocked me. I just was trying to look him up the other day and I couldn't find him.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting that we are literally looking for the best that they can offer. And they in return are looking for the worst that our side can offer. That is amazing. We're
And
looking for
debate that.
yes, we're looking for the best that the One West camp can offer to discuss this virgin birth. They are looking for the worst what our side can offer to debate the virgin birth. That is, I mean, like, dude, you got us, and you're blocking us, you're blocking me, you're ignoring LJ. Like, so you want the best, well, you think you want the best, and you're avoiding us. But then you'll debate some guy that's like barely in the Bible who thinks he is sperm.
Right.
So the two guys, the two brothers, they debated. Oh my God, I felt so bad for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Just didn't have it there.
They tried, man. They tried to put through the fight. They were not prepared for the lies and the bad translations, the eisegesis. Like they were not prepared for all that. They expected like a genuine conversation. I felt bad for that guy.
Yeah, I think Hasad just joined Clubhouse, but I don't see him active. I'd be trying to just rush in on some of their rooms.
Yeah, yeah. I was doing Clubhouse and one time, and they overtalked me so much I had to scream and cuss at these guys to let me go. And I mean, I had to scream and cuss over them to let me go uninterrupted. And I was, you know what? And then when I went, it didn't feel the same. So, yeah, I'm never.
Yeah, you gotta be so aggressive in Clubhouse, bro. Either that or somebody who has decent control of the room has to want to talk to you and you only. Like there's this one guy, sometimes I'll accidentally go in his rooms. Immediately, two people will invite me up to talk. Like, bruh, chill. Hey, bro, they be thirsty in there, bro. Oh man.
Let's see. Anything else? Yeah. So I got it. You know what? I'm gonna put that on my plate right now. Vocab Malone Cesario, in case he used. 'Cause I didn't even think about that. If LJ didn't bring up, he just watched that. I forgot that he had his own like he had new arguments for. So he did say something though. So I take that back. He did versus vocab Malone. He did say new stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. And it's you know I'm gonna say it again. I don't really want Captain. I want Deacon. It used to be just Gorilla, but since Hassan was so disrespectful in the call, I want Hassan. I want Gorilla first. I can't get him. Then Hassan, and then Deacon. The three Stooges. I want Gorilla first,
Yeah.
or I even said this. because they don't like even. So I said, I'll take all three of them. I'm dead honest. I said three v one, me versus them three. I couldn't say me by LJ because they don't like fair fights. They're gonna say no. So if they don't want a fair fight, which they're not gonna want one, then we can do them three versus me. Like I'm confident I will beat them down. And you could throw in captain with
Oh
them.
yeah, easily.
And you could throw in captain. It could be four versus me because the reason why I say that is because they can't talk at the same time. Somebody got to talk. So even though it's four of them, only one person can talk.
Right.
So and he's going to have an argument. I'm just going to shred. Then the next person can say something, and I'm going to shred that argument over and over and over and over and over.
And then you're gonna bring out the Greek, and they all gonna be talking about Ganao.
Yeah, I don't believe I'm gonna need to because I talked to Captain, didn't have to. I talked to Hasad, I ain't have to. I talked to Deacon, I ain't have to. And who's the other one? That's it. So I never talked to Grla. So three of those four I talked to, I never had to. I don't think I'm gonna have to.
Mm,
I try to avoid it. I mean,
yeah.
because they'd be so stuck in Matthew 1:16. They'd be so stuck. And when you bring to Luke 1, what Greek they bringing out then? And also that word cousin means kinsman. So like they even done there when they do the whole spill with it say cousin. All right, let's look at this word a little further. That word is kinsman. You know why I know? Because it's in other places in the gospel as kinsman. And that can mean a bunch of different.
Right. Yeah. So you gonna call them? You gonna call all three out on Sonetta?
Nah, I'm not gonna call them on out like like that. I want Grilla Hebrew, but I'm saying like if it get to the point where they all are scared, then I'm gonna say, man, Asa, I'll take all three of them. I take all three of them. And then if
Mm,
and then I'm gonna say if not, I'll take Captain. I'm gonna say I already don't want Captain. The Captain was respectful. Like these guys are disrespectful. Everybody's seen it. So this is the guy I want. This guy I want to humble. And Captain could watch, from the shadows and then decide if he wants some of that. Like Debo, you want some too, old man? Because I think once I'm done with Gorilla, I think Captain is not going to debate. See, but the difference is if I debate Captain, Gorilla, if he's interested, he'll still debate. But I think if I debate Gorilla or even Hassan, one of these guys, I don't think Captain will be interested afterward, which is the point. Because it's gonna be a W.
yeah.
It's a W. Once he say no, I'm not interested, it's a W. Because it's Hassan gonna be like, oh my God, you're great. It's a W. I killed two.
Yeah. Because I mean, it's like basically once you beat those, whatever year KD was on the Warriors, once you beat that team, no other team's gonna be like, hey, let's play. You know. So you just waiting on whenever he replies back or whenever he wants to set it up.
So what I'm gonna do is, so my plan is to go back on and play some Gila Hebrew clips of him discussing it. Clips like this. When I say Guerrilla Hebrew clips, let me give you a case in point. So before I do that, Dante said Deacon said he beat up San Shimon in the debate. He says, have you guys ever seen that debate?
Not Deacon, probably Gorilla. Guarantee you, Deacon will not survive more than he won't survive longer than Gorilla Hebrew on there, like talking the way he does. I've seen. Well, I don't know. He might. I don't think so though, because I think that's the only person who's talked to Sam Shamoon. Hasad tried to call in, but Sam already caught wind that he was a Hebrew Israelite. He just got him up out of there.
No, that one Hasad, that was Grla.
No, Hasad called in before. I think on another time I was listening,
Really?
and it wasn't the title. Yeah, the title wasn't Guerrilla Hebrew, whatever. It was Hebrew Israelites joined on. He ended up talking to one, but Hasad called on, and I recognized his voice, and he kicked him off because he already knew what it was. That he was going to pretend to be, something and try to, oh, gotcha. Let me find it. Let me find it. Give me a second. I'm still looking for it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think it's this one. I just don't know where there was a 3-hour long video.
Yeah, I'm loving this tool, this editing tool in inbox, Facebook inbox. Because I've been like sending stuff to certain brothers, and then I just change my mind, like, instead of deleting it, I just unsend. I just go ahead and just say something else. I'm loving that edited thing. All right, here we go.
David are 14. 3 of those cases, is it Immaculate Conception? No. So
yeah. So when they read, when the one Western guys read Matthew 1:17, I don't believe any of them really understand what they're reading. Like this is an Acts 8:30 moment. Do you understand what you're reading? I don't think any of them really like most of Matthew's. I don't think really they really. I think most of their eggs are in 18, 19, 20, and maybe 16, but really no, because we catch them off guard there. I think most of the eggs in Matthew, like they only care about 18, 19, 20. That's it.
Hey, can I share this real quick? I think this is it. I think I found it.
Yeah.
All right. Let me know if you really can't tell. I'm almost positive this is him for a quick second.
Can I watch this message? Yep.
Hey,
Yeah.
I got just a quick question,
Your
Mr.
mama.
Shimon.
That's what I said.
Oh my god.
I think that was Hassan, bro.
And that was it was. Did he,
You hear the echo in the back? He was trying to record too.
he say your mama?
Yeah. Wait, let me go back. Let me go.
I got just a quick question,
Your
Mr.
mama.
Shimon.
That's what I said.
Wait, look, wait.
That's what you
He makes fun of the. I don't know where he does it. I think it's somewhere in like next couple of seconds. But he says, "Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh man, this dude funny.
Wait. So okay, that's interesting because Hasad says I'm weird for haunting them down. You know, but then they're haunting Sam Shimon down.
Nope.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I mean, isn't it also weird to like? I get evangelism. Isn't it weird to like storm Bible studies, do all that stuff?
Yeah,
I
especially
get all that. Like, hey, let's talk on a personal note. You know, we can set up a time where we talk. He's just gonna ambush and be like, well, what about this? What about this?
yeah,
You know?
why not? Like, because what I try to do with these brothers is like I try to spare them from the spotlight. I say, hey man, let's talk about the virgin birth. I think you guys are mistaken in places, and of course it's gonna be recorded, but at least it's like gonna be unlisted. You know, it's not gonna be like a big deal, a big deal. Um, but it's only a big deal when they become arrogant. Okay, so now
Right.
it's gonna be a different. When we talk this time, a different story. But I really just want to go over, some passages with them. Like, hey, man, like Hebrew, I want to help them out. Like Hebrews 2:16, Romans 1:3. Like, I want to help them out, like, so they can stop using these passages. Galatians 4:4. Like, yo, none of these work for you. Um, Acts 13:22. Like, yo, this doesn't work for you, man. Okay, you need to focus in Luke 1 and Matthew. All right, hold on. I might have somebody. Who's that?
Oh, you heard that?
Yeah.
My bad.
All right, so let me,
Why does it change in verse 16? When the
why is it changed in verse 16? These guys.
prior 3 times we'll see a woman of begat of this woman, it's not immaculate conception. But all of a sudden it just changes to fit their.
You heard him? All of a sudden, it's like he's mad at the
Yes.
Bible. He's like, yo, what you want? Okay, at the case, put a period, bro. Put a period. What do you want me to do? You're stating the obvious. All of a sudden, just change. What? Okay, what do you want me to do about that change? It says it. Like, you want me to act like it's not there?
Yeah, it's weird, man. Is he saying like, oh, now there's all of a sudden a change? Like that means is he trying to like make it seem silly or something?
I think he's trying to make like somebody's logic silly. Like it's almost like he's reading the change, but he want to act like that's your imagination. So really there's no change because it's saying begot, father and son. So even though it doesn't say it here, it should say it. So let's act like it does say it because why would it change? So let's just
Yeah,
read it
yeah.
says it here and let's move on because it's supposed Joseph is here, so it's supposed to say it. So let's just agree to that and move on. Like that's pretty much what he wants to do. All right, watch this stupid logic.
Their ideology. That's insanity.
Don't even make no sense.
Okay, verse 17. So all the generations from Abraham to David are 14 generations. And from David unto the carrying away of Babylon are 14 generations. And from the carrying away into Babylon unto Christ are 14
He's gonna read this and break nothing down.
generations.
Go ahead.
Now the birth of Yahushua was on this wise. when as his mother Mary was espoused to Joseph, before they came together.
So why did they? That's the most confusing thing to me. Why did you read verse 17 to get to 18? Like, what is the connection? What's the
Right.
connection? Why don't you just read verse 18 like that? Like you didn't show a connection. You just confused everybody. You read all these generations. You stop and then you read about the birth of Christ. Just ball of confusion.
Okay, before they came together, this is what they always go into. Before they came together, what does came together mean? Let's find out. Came together, Strong's G 4905. To come.
All right, now listen to this logic behind this. So he goes to outline biblical usage. He said, what does it mean? Not how is it used. So you go to outline biblical usage.
Come together to assemble of conjugal cohabitation, meaning they didn't live together yet, and or they didn't have their assembly or their marriage ceremony yet.
Now, I didn't read in those outline usages of a marriage ceremony, a wedding feast,
Yeah.
or block party. I didn't even read that.
I think they just don't
This is not.
understand. Like, I guess in jail, when they have conjugal visits, they have marriage ceremonies.
Right. Gotta be, man. Like, yeah, it gotta be. They have the they get married in jail. So he just found some big
Right. They
old
don't call that a conjugal visit.
he was some big old beast was sending her money, and they've been like talking and writing each other over and over. And she was like, you know what, let's get married. And yeah, he had a couple of prisoners in there that inmates that said, hey man, I'll come.
Hey, they like those real life, examples. They're like, okay, can you have a conjugal visit with someone who you're not married to? No, it's impossible. Oh man. Mm-mm. I got like 15 more minutes and I got to head out.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I get this guy on. All right, let's see if I can work my magic. This last guy. I might get a guy. Let's see. I think I'm just gonna drown him in Luke 1. Correctly. It depends. It depends how aggressive he is. If he's chilled and relaxed, Luke 1. You go hyper aggressive, Matthew 1. Oh, let me play the video.
Not mean marriage. This does not mean sex. This means conjugal cohabitation. Give me the Apocrypha real quick.
Sirach 42 and 10. Yep. It says, in her virginity, lest she should be defiled and gotten with child in her father's house.
Gotten with child in her father's house. Go up earlier though, so we can
Verse
get there.
9. It says, the father waketh for the daughter when no man knoweth, and the care for her taketh away sleep. When she is young, lest she pass away the flower of her age, and being married, lest she.
What the hell are we? Yeah, they read before they came together, and they start reading from a whole nother book, a whole nother story. What are we doing here, man? Yeah, can you imagine them doing this with like Sam Shimon or Dark Light? This is why they get so. That's why they be like your mama. Like they, they just get rid of them real quick.
Yeah.
They do like you're insulting my intelligence, man. And you know what's even worse is that Grilla Hebrew, Deacon, and Hasad voice are distinctive, right? So like they know it's them. Is everybody else that stupid that they just can't call and ask the same question? Like, is everybody else that stupid? That's when you know they're in nothing and they're in a folly. Because if it was so true, then they should be able just to call anybody should be able to call and ask the same question. You know, that's like kind of like going over the story with the Egyptians and the Israelites. Like most people can call anybody, show and be like, "Hey, man, so what do you guys think about the strangers when the Israelites was amongst the strangers coming out of Egypt?" Yeah, you know, because that's a common story. It's popular. It's clear. So anybody from that camp just could call and ask that question. Why is whatever Assad called for? Why is that so difficult? A regular member, an unsuspecting member, can call Sam Shimon and get right through because his voice is not, you know, well known.
Yeah, they didn't think that part through.
At all.
Should be hated. In her virginity, lest she should be defiled.
And her virginity, Salakia. What verse is that?
Sorry, 42.
What?
9 to 10.
Okay. So watch this.
So it's like when they read this, like, what do I do with this? Like, do I just ignore it? Like, yo,
What does virginity have to do with anything? Nobody's talking about the word virginity. Talking about the word virgin and come together.
I wonder if that apocrypha has commentary.
Which one?
Any of them.
Yeah, I got commentary on all of them. You want me to look up something?
I'm just curious. I'm just, you know, the things I looked up. I'm just curious in advance. I'm just, you know, and just in advance because I'll be looking through it, and
Yeah, I got one. I think I just got one commentary on it. Yeah, I mean that's all I need.
apocrypha. This is Bible. It look like Bible Hub. All right. Okay, so this
It
ain't
doesn't seem like a strict commentary though.
okay. Where is? Oh, let me see. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know about this one. Let me get out of there.
Tight
Let me go with my first choice.
commentary.
Nah, I don't think this is nothing either. Man. Oh, The KJV made the Blue Air got take this course.
Mm. Yeah, I don't have any commentary.
What, yours?
Yeah, no, I didn't find any. Oh wait, unless hold up. I think a lot of these, like let's do Book of Tobit, translation, addition to the Midrash, Tanhuma, text, translation. Okay, this is just the text. Let me find. Yeah, I got a whole folder just called Apocrypha. Just a bunch of stuff in here. Books of the Apocrypha, Pseudepigrapha, interpreting apocalyptic literature. Uh,
All right, so let's see. Oh, no, there's nothing to click here. Yeah, there's no hyperlink. I guess. Damn, is that hard? For me to find this? This is wow. I didn't think it'd be this difficult.
Plasty, Spermatas, Andras Kai. Not it.
This is weird. No wonder that you
Yeah,
missed
I
it.
guarantee if I go on Logos, they have a bunch of bundles of commentary because I think when I was getting stuff for the Apocrypha, I was not interested in commentary. It's more so like history.
Yeah. Look at Jasper. All right, please. At this point, I'm not gonna search anymore. I'm gonna give up. Yeah, it's no commentary. The
Yeah,
Bible
I
Hub
have
got the.
this whole
Does Bible Hub got the apocrypha?
probably doesn't tell me which one is a commentary though, because I have this whole collection. It's weird.
Okay, hold on. So this might be it.
Oh, here's a bunch of commentary. Okay. Hey, they all $20. Bro, this knife company pissed me off, bro. So I sent these knives in about 4 weeks ago, and they kept charging me $500. So I had like 900 or whatever in my account, and I look, it's like 400. I'm like, wait, huh? What did I just spend $500 on? So they took like 1,500 altogether, and finally, because I think I saw the package got there on the 23rd of December, like literally 2 whole weeks ago. The guy was like, oh yeah, they're gonna look at it today and we're gonna reimburse you on Monday. Look at it, you've already seen it. It's been in your possession for 2 weeks. It's crazy.
Yeah, we gotta read.
Hey, I'm biased.
Yeah.
It's so funny, I don't celebrate holidays or whatever. When people ask me to help them set up decorations, I'm like, nah. When they ask me to take them down, I'm like, yup.
Yeah.
Having fun taking this Christmas tree down.
Damn, man. Yeah.
Death to Astaroth.
He said, "Call me when it's a tear uproot and tear down."
Yeah. I'm King Josiah up in here.
I guess it's really. I guess it's really hard to get a apocrypha with commentary.
Like, sorry. Print sign and date. Yes. Oh. What'd you say? Try not to kill myself. All right, you too.
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. You got these. I think these camps also be playing with these guys confidence, man. Like their insecurities.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't well studied, and when camps just make that known, they have them believe like, oh, they might be right. You know,
Yeah. This literally had no. This literally had no commentary. After it tricked me and said it did. It straight tricked me and said it did, and then it didn't. It looks like this one. Yeah, I give up. I give up. Anything interesting that nobody? It looks like nobody provided commentary on Apocrypha. I don't think that's like kind of
nobody
weird.
care about the Apocrypha.
It's kind of weird though.
Apocrypha is garbage. I mean, the fact that they use the Apocrypha in the Hebrew
Read
Israelite camps just shows that there are scenes.
that again.
Weird.
Sirach 42:10. In her virginity, lest she should be defiled.
No, go back to 9.
The father waketh for the daughter, when no man knoweth, and the care for her taketh away sleep. When she is young, lest she pass away the flower of her age. And being married, lest she should be hated.
So it's juxtaposing or comparing and contrasting youth and being older. When she's young and when she's married, right? It don't say old, it says married. That's what when she's grown, she's now married. Then young, right? Keep going.
In her virginity, when she should be defiled and gotten with child in her father's house.
Keep going.
And having an husband.
Having what?
In husband.
So now at first it said young and married. Now it's saying virginity and husband. So it's talking about the same thing. Youth and being older. right? Just so we understand. So virginity, which they always go insane on the new definition of virginity. Virginity just means, from a Hebraic perspective, a woman who's young, but she also may be marriageable though she's young. Back at the top of 10.
In her virginity, lest she should be defiled,
Uh-huh.
and gotten with child in her father's
In
house.
her father's house. So this is, start back at 8, right?
Be not ashamed to inform the unwise and
So
foolish.
the context here, it talks about being not ashamed, then it goes into the father and the things that bring shame to a father, right? So it was looked at customarily amongst our people to it being shameful for this girl to be pregnant and still live at her pop's house. She should be off with her husband in his home by the time she brings forth child. So this is what the fuss is about with Mary and Joseph. They hadn't come together. Like we see one of these definitions, conjugal cohabitation. They weren't living together, yet she, right?
Yet she got pregnant, right? Like,
Yeah, she
yeah, he just caught himself. They weren't living together.
Yep.
I mean, like, wouldn't that be?
Oh, they would have sex.
They weren't living. So, dude, okay, so they're
Where
not
they
living,
at?
they're not living together, but they had sex, dude. Where did they have sex at? Like, and their parents caught them. Like, bro, what's going on here? Like, where are you trying to suggest they had sex at? So they weren't living together.
She's still staying at Pop's house, yet she is with child.
She's still staying at. So that's why I brought out father's house in Deuteronomy. So it says, so he says, so now he's gonna imply she's at her father's house. He's at I guess at his father. I don't know where he believes Joseph lives, but Mary's at her father's house. So they had to have sex somewhere. So brother, where did they have sex at? So are you telling me that there are no cases where a woman lives with her dad and had sex with somebody else? Or are you telling me that she has to move in with the guy first? So these are the questions I want to ask. Brother. Are you telling me, and then he gonna play like he don't understand it? That's when Sinetta will be like, oh, are you telling me that a woman must first totally move out of her father's home before she can have sexual relationships with her espoused husband? Do you recall Sarah and Tobit living together when they
Nope.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like Sarah was still living with her dad.
And if they say that took means sex in Genesis 24:67, Rebecca wasn't living there.
Yeah, nah. That I be trying to bait them to doing that. I be trying to bait. This one brother said Judah tested out Tamar before he could give her to Judah. So I be really trying to bait them to that because, oh my God. Because again, Sarnetta, they're going to say things. I'm going to debunk it. And then they're going to backtrack and give it and say, nah, I say things, I stick with it. So then check the pattern. Brother, are you saying took me sex? Watch this out. All right. Because it's weird. Because I got instances where this woman took this woman. Brother, are they lesbians? No, there's more context there. Oh, so you mean only took in a marriage setting means sex? Oh, like came together in marriage means sex? So the setting can determine the definition, huh? But you just Google came together generically. None of those definitions represent a marriage setting.
I wonder if there's any other places where there's just the word together and it speaks about that.
Yeah, so I'm a it actually I think I found some in the New Testament. I mean Old Testament.
Okay. But even if we just take this word in the most generic sense, just as the Syriac Sinaiticus actually does, before they came near one to the other, before they were in any close proximity, she was found pregnant.
Well, you're gonna say, yeah, that just means they weren't living together. All right. So I like to use this. This is just something I like to do. So I like to when I'm actually here, because I got somebody good with this. So when we're actually here, when they go to this whole virgin token virginity, I'm like, all right, let's stay right here. Let's stay right here. Let's stay. No. Let's not leave from here. Okay. I took this woman, so we know it's not sex because this is sex. Okay. So when I came to her, Sarnetta, before they came together, when I came to her, so when we came together, I found her not to be a maid. So Matthew 118, before I came to her. Okay.
She was found pregnant.
So before I came to her, she's pregnant. I'm coming to her, okay? And when I come to her, we're coming together. So it's not it's no, it's impossible, right? So came together can't mean sex, even though I'm coming to her. And this is literally sex right here. When I came to her, this is a sexual action. But the same wording in Matthew 18 don't mean sex. We're actually reading
And you
it.
know what's interesting too? The
Hmm?
word used in the Septuagint, proserkomai, comes from perkomai, which is the same root. It's
Right.
just a different way of inflecting it. Wow.
Yeah. I think LG pointed that with Judah and Tamar also.
Yeah. Are there any other places where this is used? That would be an interesting part. All right. Yeah. But anyways, bro, I gotta hop off. I've been prolonging this. I gotta jump on this studying. You hopping on tomorrow?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Yeah. Just hit me up.
All right.
All right. Peace.
All right. So yeah, I'm gonna watch that Malone debate with Captain on my way to bed. All right. Let me see. I hadn't read the chat at all. Yeah. Does Hellenos mean ethnic Greek? Okay. So let me look at that for you. Hellenos. Let me look up this for you, Dante. Okay. So let me just get it for you. Why did I go here? So let me just get it for you. Let me get it for you. Let me get it for you. Dante. Because I do know that Greek. Let me just get it for you. Let me not freestyle. Let me get it for you. Let me get it for you. Let me get it for you. Sorry. All right. Am I sharing my screen? Okay. So let's do it this way. So we got Greek here. Let's click on 1674. So your question was Helenos. Okay, so this, I guess you'd be saying this. So this is Hellenes. I guess you mean this, Hellenes. So Hellenes is, no, you're not talking about this. So Hellenes is a Greek woman. So this is a Greek woman, okay, so this is either a Greek woman or a Gentile woman, but it's not a Jew. So either way, not a Jew, right? So let's do this. So this word comes from this word. Okay, so let's just do the paper trail. So this is 1674, right? 1674. It comes from 1672. So now I'm betting 1672 is actually Greece, the place. No, it's not. So 1672 is an actual Greek. Okay, so to answer your question, 1672, so it's not Hellenas, it's Helene.
Strong's G 1672, Helene. Helene.
Okay, so Helene is a Greek, or it could be a Gentile, okay, meaning from a different nation, but it's definitely a non-Jew. Okay, so far we got Hellenese, which is a woman who's not a Jew, either a Greek or a Gentile. And now we have where we at? Helene. So now we got Helene, and this person is a Greek or Gentile, but most certainly a non-Jew. All right, so let's keep going. Now we got 1671. This is Hellas. So we got Helene. So let's start from the origin. No, this will be the origin. So it all starts here. So this is going to be the land Greece. So this is Hellas. So Hellas, told you, is the actual place. So this is the origin. 1671, it all starts here. It starts with the place. So 1671 is the place. One more number is 1672, and that is the people of the place or people that are non-Jews. Okay, and then we have a word, Hellenese, which only refers to women that are not Jewish. So far, everywhere we read the words, the Greek words, Hellenese, Helene, or Hellas, all of them are non-Jewish places or people. That's irrefutable. All right, so did I answer that question? Okay, so I didn't see a Hellenas, but I did see a Helene, Hellas, and a Hellenese. And everything was non-Jewish, non-Israelite. So I hope that was to answer your question. Yeah, ICK said you're the most One West Christian. Now, so Dante is actually he said he's white, so he won't be allowed in the One West camp. He's white, and I think he probably watches their videos or he conversates with them, maybe debate them, and they're filling him with their doctrine. So I think he just wanna he's probably looking down his Bible and seeing the passage they're reading. He's like, well, damn, it does say that, but he's not sure if the interpretation is correct or wrong. So he might be coming from that place. Right. Man, it seemed mad late. That was this. All right, so let me see if that answered your question. Yeah, you answered it perfectly well. I'm just trying to find out the definition of that word. Thank you for explaining it. Okay, come on, dude. That's something comparing. Yeah, yeah. So you seen it for yourself. So I wanted to like show you because you have the One West guys who would try to tell you that when this is saying Greek here, this is or Gentile here, this is talking about lost Israel. So you can read, everybody can read for themselves who it's talking about. So now watch this. I'm gonna show you when it's only talking about what. So there's actually a unique Greek word that refers to only Israelites and non-Israelite nations. So watch this. And this word is only used twice in the Bible. There you go. So when you see this word right here, this is, I think I spelled it wrong. Let me see. Grecian. Is it capital? It might be capital. This is like case sensitive. Okay. All right. All right. So let's see. I'm spelling it wrong. Let me see. What book and chapter is it? So I'm spelling it wrong. Grecian. How is it spelled? How is it spelled? Hmm. Let me see if I'm spelling it right. Let me see if I'm spelling. Yeah, I'm actually spelling it right. Grecian. So why it's not pulling up? Why it's not pulling up? What passage is it? I can find it. Hold on. Let me check my old notes. I hate checking old notes. I like to just know it. But in this case, since you asked a question, I want to get to it. Let's get to it. So I'm just going to cheat and check some notes. So I have something on this. Let's see if I can find it. I do have something on this. Getting close. I'm getting close to my notes. Yeah, I think I found it. Oh shit. All right. So I gotta do it the hard way. So it's on my hard drive. Now I just gotta find it. Okay, looks like I found something. Went to my notes. Hmm. I don't think that was it. Let me see. Let me find something else. All right. Let's try this. Let's try this. Let me do it. Let me do it. Let me do it. All right. So I'm just gonna Google it. I'm just gonna Google it. I ain't got time. Okay, I got it. I found the passes. Found the passes. Okay, so I ain't got time. All right. So I told you this word is only used twice in the Bible. And when this word is used, when it's used, it's talking about Israelites. Look at this. And in those days, when the number of the disciples was multiplied, there arose a murmuring of the Grecians against the Hebrews because their widows were neglected in the daily ministration. Okay. Who are these Grecians? So, like, they can't make up when it says Greek is talking about Israel. You don't have to do that. We have the terminology. Grecians is when it's talking about Israel. Let's go ahead and find out. Here we are. So we got Grecians, we got Hellenistes. So this is 65. This is under the woman. This is after the woman Hellenistes, I think it was. All right, so let's do this. So we got Hellenistes. Hellenistes. This is Jews born in foreign land. One who imitates the manners and customs of the worship of the Greeks, using the Greek tongue. So these are Hellenized Hebrews. Jews born in foreign lands. So you see, but you get the word. Oh, it's three times. I said two times. Salakia. It's three times. Grecians is used for Israelites. So that means outside these three times, when you see the word Jew, better yet, when you see the word Greek shuns, when you see the great word Greek shuns or Greeks, you're looking at Europeans, unless you see the word Grecian. Right, so I think that's enough. Let me see. I think that's enough. Let me see if that satisfied you. It's getting late. All right, I appreciate it. Hey, ILCK said, Brother Swabby, try to catch a quick body. Yeah, man, I tried. This guy was I call these guys copy and paste debaters. Like they'll copy and paste you to death. So I said, hey man, let me know. I gave him the link. He didn't hop on. So, but don't worry. Like I didn't even try today and yesterday. I didn't try. I didn't try to get people. I was chilling. I was like research mode, right? I'm just research. I'm just looking over their video, the foot, like NFL players, football players, basketball players, soccer players. They look over the footage. They develop a plan how they gonna win the next game. That's all I'm doing. Just devising a plan. So I'm gonna go ahead and look at this Captain Malone debate. I'm on way to bed, man, but I appreciate all of you.